Cinder in the corner. Stand by your book, nerd.
Stand and die by the book.
It says the I'm a dragon stuck as a kobold talking to a T-Rex.
Get kind of upset about that.
Those courage and cowardly dog just turn around, grab Tyrion, and shake, slam on the ground a few times.
Well, I think that's gonna be starting to happen to a lot of people if things go really pear-shaped with this thing. But anyway.
The things I do for murder.
Alright, so anyway, welcome back everyone. Good evening. This is Mark for session 64 of Into the Wildlands. And last we left off our Fading Hearts, our group of adventurers and people who just got caught in a mad mage's plans. They were heading off to the Sharptooth village. They got ambushed by Hive Singer tribe members who seemed to have a mindset of kill everything and that's it. And during the battle, Tyrion noticed that there was some black smoke rising from the village of the Sharptooth, and as they were heading in that direction, they just ran into the aftermath, or the finale, of a fight between, the late Jade, the Primal Hunger, being killed by a other Primal, and within the midst of it, Zarambal with his troop were prepared to get engaged in battle, but Zarambal was told by the others to go back and protect Yabala, who is the one that they really want to meet again, or reunite with and share information. And they heard the resounding neck snap of Jade's final grasp of life, with the very angry looking Pickle mentally speaking to all of them with one clear order: do not interfere. And it proceeds to tear into the corpse of Jade. Now, what is the group going to do now as they hear this warning telepathically?
Well, T-Rex Syndra is going to sit there and think to herself, yeah, we just done fucked up.
I'm just gonna...
Miser, we were told that these fine gentlemen up here would be willing to help us, right? If we were to get involved?
Yes. Here's your attention.
Told them to leave and go home.
Well, I'm gonna turn to Tyrion. How many points is that one?
Tyrion stands up on his saddle, draws both of his swords. Let's just go with enough.
Okay, so I'm gonna change the music on this one.
You don't want the heroic music? You just want to get slammed around and shit?
I just want to get the right music.
There's specific music.
I don't know why I suddenly thought of the Benny Hill music.
That's what's gonna be happening in about 20 minutes.
Pretty much.
Tyrion will turn to the rest of the party. Are we ready to fight for the Primal?
About as ready as we'll be.
T-Rex Syndra just shrugs with her tiny little arms.
While you guys are discussing this, you see the giant beast is still chewing down and tearing, well, what looks to be like a glowing greenish heart out of Jade and swallows it.
Shit.
We can take it. We can take it. We can take it, right, guys?
And I'm just gonna grab this
I've never fought the
guy.
Primal before, so I will defer to the people that have.
She says it's not going to be easy.
We cannot take it.
I'm just
Oh,
gonna,
we could probably take it.
I'm just gonna roll
I
for.
suggest avoiding getting eaten.
That's the plan.
Let's see, warrior.
Well, you're a good group to die with, I guess.
Get the stalker. And they're
Oh,
raptors. Okay, if everyone has rolled into initiative, I'm going to fix it. Also, why did he not get his advantage on his roll?
Oh.
Let's go roll one more time.
Delicious.
Well, perfect. He got another 7, so he does not get his
Yay!
All right. So, right now, Syndra Rex, you are up. As this thing is currently chowing down on a much bigger creature than it was.
Probably hate this. I hate this. Just have to get the right stats up. Syndra Rex is going to hold her action.
Okay. If you're holding your action, these 4, seen as, well, 8 actually, because including their mounts, they're all preparing range weapons, but they are not approaching. Tyrannin.
The calm before the storm.
She's at a higher layer than me, but I'm going to run up Syndra.
I'll just do this then. There we go. Move that one to back.
Alright, and then I am also going to ready my action, but first, as a bonus action, I'm going to use one of the killing sharpness potions on my blades.
Okay.
And I will split my claws so I have a higher AC. And ready my action to attack.
Alright, so, end of your turn, Tyrannin. The Savage Devil Joe, now that it's swallowed up the heart, moves over and it clamps down onto the head of Jade. And Syndra Rex and Tyrannin, you hear it very loud, and you get a very good visual of it. Everyone hears it. The crunching noise. Now it's Oberina's turn.
So Tyrannin does get the sense of like, Syndra's kind of a little like, are we sure?
I should put actually a number counter on this thing now.
Ah,
Just move to the other side of your horse.
bitch, shut up. I still have movement on the horse anyway, I'm pretty sure. Oh shit, I gotta pull up Kelpie. Where's the pet? Animal. There we go. That's banana. That's the wrong thing. Oh, 50. Okay, yeah, I'm fine. Alright. Oh, amazing. Good enough. Alright, I'm just gonna hold my action for the time being. If it kind of makes any hostile move towards the party. And if it does, I will cast slow on a bitch.
Okay.
Also, I will use a bonus action before that to switch my harp to just the regular harp then.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Arizel.
Okay. I am gonna move us behind this lovely rock. And both of us are. Wait, let me check this here. There you are. Can you do that, buddy? There we go. Alright, okay, cool. We're both gonna hide behind said rock using our bonus action. And I'm gonna ready an action with the dagger that I have currently, the saber dagger returning.
Okay, I will just let you know these rocks are about 10 feet high, so they're definitely good coverage.
Awesome.
In fact, you know what? Arizel and Oberyn, I'll give this to you guys. You can roll me an investigation. Or, yeah, investigation or perception.
Let's go with perception.
Investigation.
Wow.
I did
18
not
and
mean
14.
for that to be an advantage. I don't know why that was clicked in the first place.
That's perfectly
But
fine.
14, I guess.
So I'll start with the perception. So with an 18, you can see that this place probably was much better condition with more lush plants. Except now it's burnt in some manner of speaking. And a lot of these rocks have been damaged, or rather these really big rock structures you're all using as coverage. Arizel, with your 14 investigation, you notice that some of these rocks they're two distinctive colors. Or rather, some of them look like they got hit by a blast effect. Because they're burned on one side.
Does not bring me any comfort.
I know. I'm just giving you some more information to help you.
Oh yeah, nope. This is worrying Ari to see that. So, gonna be ready.
Okay, so
Right if needed.
the end of your turn, Arizel. Syndrarex and Tiernan, you see that Devil Joe, or at least the Angry Pickle in front of you, just finished chewing, leans over, and has now taken another bite of the head of Jade, which has now removed the very top of it. There's only the lower jaw left. And I'm just going to tick that down. Mavis, it is your turn. You're seeing a very large monster eating another monster that's dead.
Well, I'm going to float. Take me and Banana. Gonna go behind here, and I am going to ready an action. I'm gonna ready one of my Nomale arrows,
Okay.
and that's it. Wait,
Oh, yes.
gotta look at my. Nope, never mind. We're good. We're gonna wait.
Alright, Kermit.
Alright. So, well, first of all, I'm going to turn to Tiernan and throw this and say, take care of my chicken. Then, I'm going to, well, Teacup is gonna bring me here. I'm gonna pick this rock up right here, and I'm going to jump 35 feet in the air and try to smash it on this thing's head.
Okay.
Yep. If it isn't broke, don't fix it, I guess.
So you're grabbing a rock. That'll be an improvised weapon.
Yep. Oh, and sorry, rage first.
Okay, so you're raging. So you have
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to say. All right. So I have a question. Can you ping again which one you're attacking?
Like which rock I'm picking up?
Which one you're attacking?
Oh, I'm attacking
Okay.
the pickle.
I'm making sure. I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting if you hit the dead body that's already, its head's already consumed. Okay, so, that rock is well, that one in particular is twice your, size and width, so that's like about, what, 6'6"? Let's give it a 64. Just for fun. So,
Alright.
you'll be rolling, roll me a strength at advantage, because you're attacking with brute strength here.
Okay.
It's not a strength save.
Oh shit, my bad.
Yeah. So I'll give you the choice of either just raw strength or athletics.
I will do raw strength.
Okay. I am sorry, the 17 will not hit.
Okay. I get an extra attack, right?
Yes, you do. The rock is still there, you just don't have the jump.
Okay, can I throw it at him instead?
Yes, you can. It is still strength.
Alright, raw strength again? All
yes. That hits.
Alright, awesome.
So roll me just give me a 64.
Yep. Oh,
Don't roll all once, for the love of God.
Wow.
Ooh. That's a nice bit. Alright. So I'll paint the image here for you all. So Kermit, you see that there's a really big marker to at least prove your strength and dominance. Everyone, you see Kermit run over with teacup, stops by the rock, picks up said rock, and leaps. And Tyrion, you are familiar with this tactic because you use it yourself. He aims hard, trying to go right for the snout of this particular monster. But Devil Joe moves just a little bit to the side as it is consuming the rest of the top of the head. And I'm just going to roll this to the side of... Yep, smashes the rock onto the lower jaw of the deceased Jadade. And Devil Joe slowly turning to look at the annoying critter that is interrupting the meal. Kermit, you throw the rock with all the strength you got, and you nail Devil Joe right in the eye with it.
Oh no.
And all of you just hear in your heads, even you too, Kermit, as you're the closest to it, you just hear a voice says, "So you've chosen death."
The Dark Souls music starts playing.
As we hear that, Sindra just like on the tip of her brow ridge, because that's probably like where he's standing, just feels the claws kind of digging a little bit as an affirmation, just like, yep, we're going in.
You kind of feel that sense from her just being on top, like, are you fucking sure? I mean, we can fuck out of here. Like, little hands kind of pointing.
So, is that it for your turn, Kermit?
I mean, I didn't move yet, did I? Besides jumping? Just my standing leap?
I mean, you can still run.
Alright, yeah, okay.
But
I'm gonna
just
run.
remember, you are... Well, if you wanted to pull that rock thing, you had to be a little bit closer to him, so...
Oh, yeah.
So you'd be probably like right here.
Alright.
Because you just threw
I'm
it at
going
him.
to run 25 feet that way to try to divert its attention away from the group. And that's all on my turn.
Okay, so let me just check. Yeah, so he could not get an AOE on you, but an attack of opportunity. But
He
as
has 15-foot reach.
but
Oh dear God.
but I will say this: he was using his legendary actions. He still had one more left.
Me?
Yes. So just as you ended your turn, he's going to use his last point of legendary actions before he gets the recharge.
Okay.
And he's going to start charging after you.
You know, he would also need to make me, I'd like to say a wisdom save, since it's anything hostile, please.
Yeah, that probably triggers Mavis's arrow as well and Ari's dagger.
Yes, all of you throw everything you got because Kermit is about to get stepped on.
Miser, at disadvantage,
mine, I
please. At disadvantage, please.
Okay. So let's start with that first.
Oh, holy shit.
And now,
Wow.
good job, you managed to burn one of these.
Oh.
As he shakes it
Fuck
off.
me.
Next people's stuff before this thing starts
Well,
running.
I can't slow it now.
Okay. Okay.
I think that me and Tiernan move in, I guess. Because we're dumb.
Good job, team.
I imagine halfway through, Cinder's like, oh shit, he just shrugged that off. Oh.
Actually, I think we're still mentally linked from Tiernan here. Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I don't have my Strike of the Dragon,
Okay,
so that 20 is actually just 3.
okay. 3. So it's 12, 16. Okay, now I can really add to the effect of yeah, okay. So if you're striking on this thing, just as he's
Yep.
about to move, anyone else is making are unleashing their ready actions,
Yup.
Yes.
please do so, and I will explain exactly what's going on. But I want to make sure I calculate everything. Okay, that
Oh.
21 just
Good God.
misses.
Ah!
Oh.
Yeah, I know, and I feel bad because you moved, but
No, that's
You're
not what
fine.
I'm on.
But you can hit it like over here. We're sad that a 21 just misses.
Are you
Yeah.
Oh.
serious?
I am
I
not.
didn't hear that part. I was worried about you being now moving up, but it's fine.
No, you can just aim up higher.
No, there are plenty of other spots on this creature that you can hit.
There's plenty of space on him.
Explosive. It's not gonna do anything.
Oh.
That's upsetting.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
But when I start playing with these, when I start using these particular creatures, I'm very serious of how strong they are.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is
I ain't afraid of no
29.
pickle.
That's fine. Because this is not a normal
die
pickle
in
that you're fighting against.
This is a raging one.
That will tap you with one swipe of its foot.
Okay.
Tried many
So-
times that kick.
Alright, so as this particular Devil Joe is preparing to charge, you unleash your, wait, actually, did Syndra Rex bite? Or is Syndra Rex on?
Syndra moved.
Okay. Just making sure. Alright, so,
you know, I can only do one thing, so it was move.
I know, that's
I was
fine.
waiting to see if Tyrion was getting on, because...
She knew.
So, Tyrion, you see the attacks, and I'm gonna go with the sequence as, who hit who, or rather who struck first. So, Tyrion, your blades, as you strike this thing head on, oh, I forgot its, passive reaction too, which is why it killed Jade very easily, but, I do need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, as your blade does cut, and there is some blood coming out.
21.
You passed. Although you will be taking half of this. Only 1 point of damage.
Okay.
And Tyrion, as you realize this happens, you see Arizel's blade hurled at it. It bounces, or rather you see the sparks. It was probably really hard metal. At least as far as you remember when it comes to metal clashing against metal. As his blade dances onto this creature's tail. And then it gets hit by the arrow, which, for a brief moment, doesn't look phased at all by it. Did a damage, as you see a bit of a burnt spot. And it makes its full charging movement right over onto... Because he moves his full movement speed, so I'm not gonna... And I need Kermit to make me a strength saving throw, as he is trampling you.
Yep.
And I'm going to pink this here.
Oh, well, that's not...
At advantage because my rage?
Yes. That's your Constitution. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. And that's not at advantage. It's just normal, right?
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah, I just can't figure.
And I'm just gonna warn you guys now. That was just him doing his legendary action. Okay, so you took 3 points of force damage. So, now that it begins its turn, not only is his legendary actions are recharged, but now it gets to actually fight. So let me point.
Wait, am I dead?
No,
Oh, okay.
you just took 3 points of force damage as it just runs right
Okay.
by you.
Okay.
And
He passed the con. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Roll it. Never mind.
yeah, now I'm just gonna check. Oh, Tyrion, you are just in range. And Syndra.
Ah.
Everybody else is safe for the moment. So now I'm gonna ping this. So you understand. So you can understand what's going to happen to you all.
Oh. I see.
I absolutely hate this.
Don't worry, it's fine. Kermit's gonna take all of this like a champ.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Here's the first one. Oh, it didn't roll the
Okay.
damage. That's a little.
Intelligence, you say?
Yes.
6.
I think I'm
Wow.
just inside of it, aren't I?
You are just inside of it, yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think that's what he was measuring.
Also, you're using T-Rex brain, which so. Oh!
Did I get hit too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything is.
Oh, okay, so I have to roll intelligence?
Yes.
Yep.
And those that fail are taking 14 points of psychic damage and are stunned.
Alright, here we go.
Also, I gotta roll for these guys.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got it.
Oh, you
So
passed!
we're all good?
I'm the dumbest
No,
person
we're
on.
not in the, only the people in 60 feet of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the
Yeah.
dumbest person here.
Wow, this guy just passed. I think there was 2 elites there. Yes,
Yeah.
2
Your
elites.
your raptor also has to roll.
Yes.
And I believe somebody's horrible bronze dragon cockatrice came with us. We don't have control to move it, though.
Oh, yeah.
So he also has to roll intelligence.
He's not exactly
Alright,
the smartest
okay.
chicken on the block, but.
Hey, he's a fine chicken.
He failed.
Yep.
Now, Popeye's the smartest chicken. It's like, she's way over here.
Love how all that range is like, alright, fighter class, go!
He
And now we're
passed.
fucked.
And I'm just gonna roll 1 for all the raptors.
Oh, I'm gonna reroll. I'm gonna use Indomitable.
Okay, you may.
Are you indomitable though?
8.
No,
Fuck.
I'm sorry to hear that. And unfortunately, right now the only one that offended it has been Kermit, so I'm sorry, Kermit. He's coming towards you.
Well. Oh. Well.
Lovely.
At least you're not stunned. Otherwise, you'd be way more fucked.
Yes. So
That's true.
How much damage did we take?
you only took 14
damage, but we're
points.
stunned.
Oh, wait, I took 14 damage too, eh?
No, you didn't.
No, you
Oh,
passed.
I did. Oh, yeah, I passed.
Yes. You only took half that damage. You took 7. Which.
And it is psychic.
The
so
lock
it
is a
goes
good stunned icon.
How do you think you managed to kill Jadade? Alright. So,
luck.
here comes the next 2 attacks, because the roar is counted as one of his attacks.
Oh.
Yes, 3.
Yes. So, I'm just gonna, let me see.
Where's our other god when we need him?
Oh,
He's all the way in the sea, sleeping.
I forgot I was raging. I only took half the first damage of the force.
Nope. Oh, you don't take half the psychic. Oh, you mean the force when you got trampled?
Yeah.
Yeah, the force.
Oh, okay.
Also, I'm just gonna click this here. You understand that this thing is going to do this.
Is that to me?
Yes.
Oh my god. No.
Okay.
That 32 does not hit.
I hope not.
And unfortunately, you're only 3 feet tall, so you literally fit well into this thing's mouth. What was your poison
Yeah.
thing again?
My poison is... Hold up.
Wait, he gets a strength check though.
Poison scan any creature... Oh, I'll just ping it.
I read that wrong.
DC Constitution.
Can it even fail?
It could roll in that one. But its con's pretty damn stupidly high too.
Oh.
Yeah, not for now.
I'm glad we are fighting the barbarian primal first.
But
Second, but yeah.
I do have a request now. Kermit, can you roll me a D4?
Yeah.
Even or odds is what I should say.
Oh, that's not good.
Odds. Well, you are small. No point of him
Oh,
smashing to the ground, so... Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4...
Please hit the fucking big T-Rex and not anyone else.
And we'll start with...
So I'm full dead, right?
No.
Not yet.
Oh.
How much health did you have?
What? Oh, I had 39 health.
Let's just say he's bloodied, very bloodied right now.
I mean, you'd have that anyway because you're raging. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then to kill somebody, you have to hit 0.
Yeah,
And then damage beyond 0 has to be either you have to be forced to fail 2 death saves, which is 2 attacks, or you have to meet your maximum HP beyond 0.
Okay,
Yeah.
Wait, so
All
how
right.
much damage did it hit me for?
So it hits you for a total of
36.
Yes. So you have that, and you take only 18 because you are raging.
Alright. Yeah.
So you should probably have a little bit more health than that because you definitely took a big chunk out. Lost.
So I have 21 health left.
No, you should have more.
Oh. I rounded up the damage from the laser.
Laser? When you took the laser? Oh, the screen. Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't a laser though. It was literally just a
Oh.
stunning roar. So
You're supposed to round down.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Round down and halved it. So from my math, that's what I was at.
Yeah. So you should still be more than that.
Oh, and we went into this battle. I was already half health.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't
from
paying
last
attention
session.
to that part. All right.
Yeah, we took a lot of damage in the last session.
That you did. Well, I'm sorry. This is going to be painful then. So, I'm just gonna roll this d4.
Please hit the giant.
Okay. So you're being thrown in this direction.
Okay.
Oh! Frog.
That's fine.
Take a moment.
And pray
That
for
definitely
frog.
hits. So, Kermit and everyone, well, actually everyone, you see Devil Joe shake its head a little bit, probably not liking the taste of Kermit, and just hurls him into the direction of this group over here. Let me just grab these guys and bring them to back. And Kermit,
So 37 divided by 2.
so that will be
36 again, so it would be 18.
Yep. You take 18 damage, and so do these guys, both of them.
Okay.
And now I'm just gonna roll this for one more time.
So is Kermit still awake?
I think he still is, just barely.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay, I was rolling even odds, and now he just notices that there is a small kobold with a T-Rex.
Hi.
Takes
It's nice knowing you guys.
he takes a couple more steps forward, and as if to do a intimidation tactic with his bonus action, is going to bite over to the remaining jaw part or the head of Jade. And this is why he's been sustaining himself as he's healing.
Yeah. That's
Oh shit.
figured.
Yeah, okay, great, fun, fantastic, good.
Miser, weird question.
Yes, and I may have answer.
Is there a energy source coming out of this bullshit?
Ah, that's right, because of what you have. You can roll me a perception
You
at
get-
advantage.
Hold on, let me click toggle it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, there is a lot. In fact, since Tyrannin and Syndra Rex are close by, I'm just going to give this to you because you have decent enough high passive perception. Those wounds are slowly closing. And the eye is already opened.
Wait. On who?
Devil Joe, when Kermit slapped him with a rock.
Oh. I was worried Jade was about to get the fucking back up.
No.
That would have been our best case scenario at this point.
No, I'm pretty sure that's still.
No, it would be worse.
Syndra X. You just saw your small frog friend got turned into a torpedo.
Too bad she's stunned.
Yeah.
Do I roll or is it just an auto off after the next one?
Off, yeah. So.
Okay, yeah, so, yeah.
Alright, so now that you're no longer stunned.
Oh, wait, be stunned until the start of my next turn.
Yes.
Oh.
So I should be fine.
Yes.
Okay, is Tyrion there?
Tyrann's still there.
Or where's Tyrion?
I'm on your head.
With a chicken.
That horrifying chicken's there, right?
Yes.
So here's what I want to do. I'm going to flick my head in a way to which Tyrion's going to roll down my snout. I'm going to grab him by the back of his armor with my teeth, and then drop my head. And as I spin, smack the chicken off of my head. Or the chicken should be kind of just floating there because of its weight. I'm gonna smack it in a Devil Joe and run.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh shit. Okay. So that's a very complex thing for your current form, Mr. T-Rex.
Take me with you.
Huh? I'm sorry.
I was just yelling, "Take me with you."
Well, that's why Tyrion near her mouth. She's just like,
Yeah.
"Fuck this." But she hates that chicken, so.
All right. So I'll grant you a dexterity to see how accurate you slap this chicken.
I don't know why that's advantage.
Oh, 14. Okay. Roll me a strength. Okay.
It's not meant to be accurate at all. It's just like, I don't like this thing.
Yeah. He's just gonna be right here. Floats down.
Also, she's kind of planning that it's stupid enough to kind of do something dumb to distract. So in the meantime, fuck this. Let's see. I have a 50-foot movement speed. So come on, map. Fuck that rock in front of me and. If Tyrion would be so kind.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay. If
I love how we just fucking threw Kermit's chicken into the wind.
Thanks, guys.
It was a calculated plan. He's a bronze or brass dragon. He'll handle this.
Yeah, he's got this. He's fine.
Why would you,
I mean, yeah.
He's
why
a
would you
drinking.
give a- Oh my god. If anything, you're just giving the hunger the ability to eat a dragon and have draconic powers.
No.
No, it's just a cockatrice.
Okay, cock powers.
I'm not even gonna fucking. No.
An angry cock pickle?
I don't-
Is that what you're saying?
okay. It chooses to ignore you. And the chicken. As it continues to bite into the corpse of Jade. The lower jaw is now, or rather, whatever is left of the head is now in pieces. As for Kermit, or rather the elite group that is there, they're seen as a, no, don't really want to get involved in this, so...
These people have seen us fight and then watched us go, nope, so...
Yeah.
So Kermit, you see, some of these Kobold warriors are hanging around you.
These
And
people have
just...
seen us fight all kinds of things, including Venom Hams and Tony Gadachis, actual other T-Rexes. And if they're like, oh, wait, they're running? Quite an idea.
Yep. And
I just look up at them. Where's my chicken?
They point. And Kermit, you see... Your jig is just floating very calmly, almost elegantly so, till it lands a few feet away from Devil Joe. Also, one of them quickly gives you a red flask, and you just grab this. You heal for 7.
It ain't much, but it's honest work.
And that's it for their
Thank
turn.
you.
As they're all, well, except for the one that's giving you the red potion, the other 3 look like they're fully ready to run.
The Devil Joe seems to be chewing very loudly and squeaking.
Yeah.
It's today's gooey center.
Yeah, he just finished the head, you see, so he's going down. Now he's going to go down the rest of the parts. You already got the important heart and brain.
She plays with toys all day, every day, but the second we start streaming, she gets the squeaky one out.
She knows. Oh my god! You know that squeaky bone marrow. You hate to see it.
Alright,
All
so
week she hasn't even touched it.
Today was inflatable the whole time.
I mean,
It was a fucking Macy's Day Parade thing with a fucking heart of a primal.
so Tyrion, what are you up to?
Okay, I think my telepathy. Oh god, 60 feet, never mind, I can't. Tyrion is gonna come out of his stupor. Wow. Am I like inside of Cinder's mouth or?
You're being held by the armor, like you can swerve out of it.
Okay. He's going to kind of, as he comes back to consciousness, tap you on the jaw so you let him go. And just glide over to Vari. Holler out, "We're leaving!" Look over to the group of kobolds and Kermit. "We'll meet you back at the village." And I'm gonna stay behind this rock. Actually, I'm gonna move a bit down here, but I'll still be like last in line as Popeye drives fucking Cinder's raptor away, just pecking him in the back of the head.
Yeah, as you see Popeye furiously pecking, or rather nudging. Move, 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 move. All right.
Me and Cinder will hold the line. Everybody else, flee!
Right. I'm just gonna keep rolling this at the end of everyone's turn. Even or odds. Okay, another evens. Just make sure I got it right. Okay. He bites it down again. This time he is working toward the other half, and Tyrion, you will know. It seems like Devil Joe is aiming for the liver. Obrina.
Alright, Miser.
Yes.
I have 2 questions. Question 1. Is our big pickly man, does he seem to have any armor on him? Or anything metallic?
No.
Question 2. How about our friendly cockatrice?
Oh God, what are you up to? He does. In his
He does.
in his claw, in Bolzamar's claw, or chicken hand thing, you see the punch weapon.
Well, Miser, I'd like to give him a little bit of a cooking book while we're fucking fleeing.
A Bolzamar? Oh no.
Well, technically, because he's on top of him.
He's not.
guess-
He's floating down right now.
Okay.
He's not on him. He's just floating down. He's close, but he's not on him.
Then
I'll make that very clear. He's not on him. He's floating down.
Well, that ruins that plan.
I'm sorry, but
No, it's fine, it's fine. My plan was just heat up Mozamar's hand since he's gonna be on top of him and just fucking fry him slowly.
oh my god. They want to kill the...
I don't even want to kill him. I'm using him as our best possible out.
I got you.
I'm using what little information I have to turn it into advantage because I don't have many attack spells.
I understand.
But, I was told to leave, and since Kelpia is, she'll dash 100 and then GTFO.
Okay.
That's way off the map, so I'll let you handle that.
Just add the numbers to how many feet you have run away.
Alright, so that's 40, so it'd be 60
Okay.
at that point. Shit. But they're not letting me. That is.
Arizel.
Okay, real quick question.
Yes.
So, the dagger, because I'm not quite the 40 feet away anyways, and honestly, I feel like I should have made that attack at a disadvantage because I wasn't, I think.
I'll let you.
No, it's, yeah, so I don't, so I'm not within 40, I guess the thing is, I wasn't within 40 feet, so I don't have the dagger back to me. Do I have to go up and grab it and then bring it back to myself?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure that that was the whole point, so I'm going to do this. I don't like this. Right about where would I have landed?
It'll probably be... Roll me a d6.
Oh god.
You want to roll high in this case.
Well, I didn't roll high.
Okay. So... You saw the sparks when it hit the tail, and it flew somewhere a bit further north.
This is not great. Okay. Well, I'm gonna move me up a little bit so I can see where my lovely dagger went, because I still need that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna move up here now. That was... Hang on, let me check and see the movement wise. This is what happens when you have too many freaking... I'm within range regardless, I think.
I know, I'm just checking.
That was 35. 35? How many feet can my... They can run 60, right, the raptor?
Yes. They can dash
okay,
too.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. And would I need to do a perception to see where it's at?
No, once you're within range, it should start coming back to you. Just gonna make sure you have your hand out so you don't get yourself hit by it.
Yeah, no. So once I get the dagger, we dashy out of there because that's a bonus action my boy has.
Okay, can you roll me a d100?
Yeah. I don't like this. Okay, 1, 2. Oh god.
I see you have acquired my taste for D100s.
What is this?
It's called
What is this?
So,
Yeah, it is.
so Arizel, you feel for a brief moment a pair of eyes looking at you. And you...
Do I want to know?
I'm sure you have a good idea.
Oh my god. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That's it.
Okay, great. Well, I'm like running, like, I'm going this way. I'm running that way. Like, I got my thing, I'm out.
Mavis. You just saw your traveling companion Kermit been made into a Kermit ball. And Cinder Rex running.
Well, well, I guess I'm gonna run too. I'll start following Oberina. And when you dash, is it double your movement speed or what
Yes.
is it? Yes?
Yes.
No, maybe? Okay. I guess we won't go that far. I'll go as far as to catch up with Oberina.
Oh, ready
So
your engines.
60-ish. Yep.
Okay. If that's it, Kermit, you're up. You see,
Yeah. Everyone's leaving me.
You see Bolzamar floating down, just landing almost elegantly so on the ground near Devil Joe. Teacup is hiding behind whatever remains to be of a rock that is no longer there. And Devil Joe is still eating the corpse of Jade. He's actually working on the liver now.
Well, Teacup is going to run past Bosmar, I guess. Bosmar is just going to hop right on because he knows. And they're going to hightail it back towards these guys. That's Max. And that's their thing. I'm going to get up and fuck.
The sharks are looking at you very expectantly. They're all pointing north.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run. I'm just gonna, I guess, run with them.
Okay, as soon as you give the okay, because their raptors are the ones that are readying in action, they're booking it.
It looks like I'm going on a solo adventure with the Sharptooth.
Okay. So they can dash also pretty far, and they were just waiting for that. Now, this thing's turn. It caught the whiff of something very interesting. And Syndra Rex and Tyrannin, you can definitely see it turned its head in the direction where you definitely have saw Arizel moved.
I hate it. Oh, I hate this so much.
This is why being a champion slowly is starting to suck.
Only slowly. Oh, God.
Imagine being a champion. Smile.
You know what? Don't want to hear it. You got something in you, so shut up.
Well, it didn't smell me. Oh, no. Well, good luck.
I hate it. 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 Yay!
God, now we gotta play Protect the Rogue.
Well, now he's, there's definitely a quandary look of it. As it will use his bonus action to take one more bite. Jade. And I'll ping it. Even though he's already been fully healed up now.
Oh boy.
And its head going to make a quick scan of the area around. Also need to roll his recharge. Yep, he got that back. Actually, no, I don't think he needed to get it back. No, he did not.
Was a 1 to 3.
Yep, he did not. He would have gotten something else back if he used it, but he didn't. And now, I'll just roll perception, because he really was not focusing on you people until the one that hit him right in the fucking eye.
God damn it, Kermit. Oh, thank God.
I had to.
Oh, you mean... You got his attention.
I almost threw another one, so...
That's how we die.
It's like a slow, low grunt. And almost in pure disinterest. Starts moving this way. Looks over to all of you. And seeing that there's still an annoying small lizard hanging around. Unfortunately, by small, it's not referring to Tyrann, it's referring to the large T-Rex that...
Oh. Wait a minute. I'm still in the way.
Well, it depends on what happens next, because it looks... I'm just gonna roll this Actually, Syndra, call it high or low.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. As if to make a warning, it'll use his action to bite into the ground, picking up a large rock.
Why is it always Syndra that gets hit with the fucking rocks from these things?
Every time.
You're in the form of a T-Rex. What am I going to do? And it's gonna huck this at you.
Oh, let's use a great Jagras. It's mealtime.
Oh!
Actually, no, she's an Anjanath.
Actually, I'm gonna make sure. Hold on,
Oh,
wait.
Cinder, can you make the con save to stay to
Oh
your
shit! I forgot to make the con save the first time.
Oh. Well, we'll ignore the first time for now, because this is so much fun.
The DM says it's been taking 30 murders
plus
plus
51?
Yeah. Alright.
So, 20... 25 con save.
Just a second. So I get that map to correct. I can't remember, is the creature's con save or my con save?
It'd be
Your
yours-
con
it'd
save,
be
the
creatures.
monsters. Yeah, the creatures con save, so.
Well, at least one benefit is I'm a warcaster.
10 off.
That's a no.
Well, at least you didn't lose any actual hit points. Then you can actually see the look of slight confusion on this thing. Syndra, it's your turn. Oh, I see you ran. Just a
That
snort.
would be off screen, but yep.
No worries. At the end of your turn, since it has now lost all interest in dealing with you guys, it begins using its legendary actions to move, which you start seeing the heavy, heavy footsteps. And we'll call this fight over with.
Yay! Well, that could have ended a lot worse.
We
Good fight.
survived!
Good
We
fight.
did it! We beat the monster and saved the town!
You know, most encounters don't have to be you guys winning the battle.
We didn't need to win, we needed to survive, and we did that, so that's all that matters.
Exactly. So, let us change scenario, or rather, what I should do now is that since Devil Joe is no longer interested, he is just leaving. And, how long will you guys take back to check on the corpse, or are you guys just running to the village?
Well, at that point, if he just wanders off, I imagine we all kind of just stop and then are like, okay, should we, go look?
Yes, we should probably figure out what that green thing he ate was. Or at least try to figure out what portion of the body it came from.
That's all right. That's what I suspect.
Should... Is this normal for primals just to beat the shit out of each other constantly?
What's normal?
Apparently, it's some kind of evolutionary contest to see who peeks into the top before being completely smacked down again. In other words, those two are probably the same being at one time. Is that what we're understanding about all this? I really...
Somewhat. That's what I believe as well. It seems that each primal has its own antithesis. We all thought that Judaism would be the primal forest, or whatever the fuck it was called.
Might as well use this. Still got energy radiating off of it, Miser.
D100, please.
Oh, this is good. Alright. I haven't rolled bad on a D100 in a while. I'm down for one. I hate my life.
There's still energy, not much, as you realize that the energy is seeping into the land. And
that's fine, I'm not gonna...
Tyrion and actually Oberyn too, since you're close enough, you do see that wherever blood of Jade is spread upon, seems to be grass and some greenage growing.
Oh, good. Tyrion starts taking out his leatherworker's kit, just trying to start skinning him as much as he can.
Are there any of the major organs left, or did Double Joe eat those?
You don't need to roll for this one. You can clearly see that the insides have been gouged out, as in the heart, liver, and of course the entire head has just been devoured.
Tyrion's gonna look at Mavis. Sorry, Mavis, no arrows for this one. No teeth left.
You can, let's see, wisdom saving throw. What's that one for? If I may ask. Oh.
No, I'm sure I could make arrows out of, like, bone shards, but I was just making jokes.
Ah, that's right.
I guess I'll try to siphon some of the energy, since it is kind of leaking all over the place.
You can certainly try, yep. Roll me... Yeah, so just roll me that, the drain, like, basically like a bite attack for me. I'll determine.
Got it.
How much blood is there oozing out?
A lot.
Cinder's gonna do something crazy. As a test.
Did I notice Oberyn giving the good suck?
You definitely hear her intake a nice deep breath, which...
I would like to do my best to shut her fucking mouth.
I believe that'll be dexterity.
This a check?
Yeah, it'll be a dexterity check versus dexterity save. Or
I guess mine would be the save.
yes.
Alright.
Damn it.
Some reason this pink-haired bard of a fangirl, while still sitting on a horse, manages to tilt her head just enough to avoid your full hand claps.
Well, Tyrion had to, like, drop all of his leatherworking tools and go, shit, no, stop, that!
Alright, right there. Wow.
Yeah. So, you roll the 4.
Yeah, I think that's almost max damage. It is.
Okay. So for the next 4 days, and this is just metagame speaking. Well, actually, let me first do the in-game thing. You feel full, satisfied, as if you don't need to feel hunger again. Metagame-wise, for the next 4 days, you do not have to deal with the effects of your curse.
Oh, thank fuck.
Oh, I thought this was gonna have the opposite problem.
So you see Oberyn just get a whiff of the air and like... And basically all the blotches of blackened skin kind of like seem to fade away and she looks a little bit more normal again. Huh.
She actually smells pleasant.
You would think the primal hunger would be opposite effect.
Oh, sorry about that. I kind of assumed that was the whole other issue taking over.
No, I still, well, kind of. Now that it is inside me, I have a taste for all energy now rather than just negative, so.
Exactly why I tried to stop you, because, well, I didn't know if it was going to make it worse, or actually, I can only assume it was going to make it worse. But knowing this,
So what are you doing, Syndra, again? You think you're going to...
Well,
Yeah.
while that's going on, Cinder literally kind of just
Oh,
puts
man.
her hands together.
I
Oh.
see it's someone else's turn to drink the stupid.
She's testing a theory.
Okay, I need a con save.
That's a great one.
I know, I'm sorry, but it's how I wrote some of these things. Okay,
How bad did I?
so the DC is set to 14. You had 11. I'm gonna give it to you this time around because you are technically a quote-unquote wizard, and I'm only gonna give it to you just this once. But you do feel a rush of arcane energy, or rather, raw ley line energy.
Question.
Yes,
Okay, so did it hurt me or?
it did not, but you do feel very euphoric, like a high, is what I should say.
Oh no. Gotta test this shit out. Gonna keep drinking.
Do we see this at this point?
Yes, you all see this.
Or you, I guess kind of flavor it. It's because I do have like a 19 passive. I don't think I'm the one you should be worried about right now. And she points over to Syndra, who's just after the first time.
So, you're taking another drink?
Yeah.
Okay, I will say this now. The DC has increased to 16. It will increase by 2 every time you attempt to drink this. Roll me another Constitution saving throw.
Damn.
Be able to handle it. Stomach it in a bit more.
Somebody's just
Syndra.
Why am I locked to the 11s here? All right, anyway.
Hey, I rolled the 11, and God said it was my turn on the Xbox.
Okay. So, Syndra, you do feel a slight detachment, or rather, you feel both a detachment to your senses, but you feel more tuned to the land itself. And make me a perception check. You blink a few times, and you begin to see the world not in its physical colored state that you are used to, or at least the land in front of you. A few times you start blinking, you start seeing swirls, or rather flows of energy from the very land itself. Looks like a stream in a way.
That's where she stops. So she kind of turns to Tyrannin.
As you look at Tyrannin, you see where we're right over his heart area, where the nice little stone wedge that he basically swallowed into himself. It too is slowly drawing energy around it, or at least around them.
What do I see from Overina?
A large black shadow, and it looks more full.
Ari?
You see a very familiar silhouette, or actually two silhouettes, and Arizel in the middle of it, which half of her looks like the one side of the other silhouette, which you recognize as Baraktos, and the other half looks very similar to that of a certain demon prince that got his balls shot. Actually, also roll me another perception while you're at it, since you're looking at Arizel. You do see what looks to be like very, very thin red chains around her neck and wrists that do not belong to either of the two.
Are you good, Syndra?
Yes, you seem to be, doing some dumb shit, which you usually scold me for, so.
She looks at her own hands.
Ah. You don't see your hands, or rather, at least the hands of your usual form, or even the time when you invoke your grandsire's powers. They look pristine, black shining rock, almost like obsidian, but they're not hard or stiff, but flexible, malleable. At the very end of them, glowing red claws.
Tyrannin.
Did not mean to do that.
That's
Dude
fine.
Pops his head out from where he's been skidding today. What?
Did you ever see the Wildlands?
Did we see them in our dream?
Oh, sorry, I picked that again because I did not hear when the screaming.
She asked if I've ever seen the ley lines. Tyrion asked if if the things we saw in our dream.
Yes.
She holds out her hands, which are probably still covered in blood. I think you might have much more capability than I am to learn from this. Not you, Black Hole. And Ari, what have you done?
What do you mean?
You know, it's like she kind of walks over. There's Orcus on this side, and there's our Storm Boy on this side, and then these chains belong to neither of them.
No. I'm not sure what the chains mean, but I do know about the other two. In a weird way, I suppose they're fighting over me.
Question. Well, actually, two questions now. Where are you, Mavis? And Syndra, do you touch those chains?
I'm just hanging out.
Okay. So you
I
see
would
you
definitely
see.
inspect them closely before I do anything.
God damn it! They're playing the sirens now. Come on.
Well, clearly it's that bad.
That's the warning for about what's about to fucking go on.
The fuck is that?
Actually, did the mark of Nell show up in my vision?
1 second. Hopefully they're done. I'm sorry, repeat that one more time for me.
Did the mark of null show up on my arm when I was looking at it?
Oh, yes. Well,
Or on Tyrannin?
they're not there. They're not present.
But yeah, she would deeply inspect those chains before she touches them.
You can roll me Arcana. They're nowhere near as potent as Orcus and Baractos behind Arizel, but you get the feeling that those things have been there much longer, even before those two got involved.
Interesting. These are a lot older than those two. But weren't you born with Orcus, Bari?
I suppose so. I believe it was something that my mother had done. But if not attached to him, then what? I'm not sure.
With my 27 Arcana,
Mm-hmm.
do I know if a casting of Identify would allow me to inspect it?
No. This is something more akin to the soul itself. This much you know. Identify usually refers to things that is within the physical or material realm. This is quite literally what you're experiencing is the very essence of something that's in the soul.
Let's see.
Speaking of essence and soul, Tyrion, can you roll me either the leather worker's tools or survival as you are chopping apart butchering whatever's left of Jade? And Mavis, as you're hanging out in the back there, well, you see, you just saw Syndra drinking some blood. What's going on in your mind with that?
Gee, bad.
Okay.
You know, he's been chewed on.
Chewed on, slammed, had his neck broken, and, well, you take a better look at it, you can see that some parts of his body did get charred.
Yeah. Tyrion pops his head out. Like, most of this isn't even fucking usable, but, do know one thing to note? Most likely, fire is going to be a bad idea against the other one.
What about lightning?
Not sure. Burn marks. Here, 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 and all the way over there.
Well, that's good to know. I suppose maybe I could do some damage to it should we ever come across such a thing again.
Hopefully, I do
Not
notice
for
a lot
a while.
of us. I do.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Hopefully, I have noticed that there are quite a few of us that are very attuned to lightning. It looks at you and Mavis and himself.
You know, combined, we could take this thing down.
Weird question, since I am next to Syndra now. What kind of energy is it like the same stuff that's radiating from the corpse?
A
Or
little
is it
bit,
something
yes.
entirely different? Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Does it, like, have its own kind of radiance to it now that it's, like, she consumed part of the ley line energy?
No, it's dissolving, adding to hers.
Ah, okay. So, that's what I thought. Syndra, when you are done spacing out, I have a question, or rather, something that they would like tomorrow. Since you don't seem to be needing it any time, at least right now.
Could that be?
You remember the orichalcum spearhead that you had, or the very shoddy workmanship of it?
Hey, he did his
Oh,
best
it
with the
was quite
materials he had.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Cinder?
I thought he did pretty well with what he had. Go ahead. She takes it out.
Miser, I'm gonna ask you something now.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna transform my harp into a bow. How big is like the shaft of this? Is it like splintered, or, because I remember, if I correctly, didn't really have a bottom to it. It was more like a spearhead and a little bit of it.
I'll give it about a good foot long.
Oh, I thought it was. Can I? This is gonna be a weird one, Mud. I guess this would be more of an arcane check than anything. If I were to load the magical energy that I use my bow and spell slot, would I be able to maybe fire this thing with such an explosive force that it could do pretty well?
Maybe. Explain what you're
Okay.
planning to do. Are you using it right now, or are you going to use
No,
it
no, no,
later?
no, 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 no. The idea was, because I thought it was more splintered, was I'd essentially make the shaft of the arrow and have the Aurum Calcum spearhead as the head of it, because technically my bow makes arrows, per se, without using them. So what I was going to do was overload the orichalcum tip with basically magical energy, and I was curious how exactly this
Oh,
would work.
okay. That's what you're aiming for. It's
So it would-
possible. You mean,
Okay.
well, in this case, roll me Arcana.
Ugh, man, this is the one thing I'm shit at. Hold on, let me look if I have anything now. No. Yeah, this makes sense because it's way out of my wheelhouse.
As far as you know, Orichalcum, at least from what you've been hearing, is malleable by magic or energy. How much you need to use, you don't know, but right now there's a big resource right in front of you. And the fact that, I'll add with the fact that with everyone seeing that the head, heart, and liver are missing, those are probably like very key components for that storage of energy.
God fucking damn it!
Jesus Christ.
All right, so just roll me 3d4, please.
Tyrion, you're usually so fucking good at this. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll this onto the side for myself as to where the bones are actually still intact. Okay. So it was and 3, where is that part there? Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, and then you may need some help with anything. I'm gonna give him bardic inspiration for his next roll if he's going for anything else.
Well, that's all he can find now. The body's been heavily
Yeah.
been butchered.
Wow.
Yeah, there's really nothing else left besides. My god. Tyrion
Well.
pops his head out. I could have used some fucking help earlier, but now he brings out what he fucking got.
Danon, you should drink the blood.
What?
Drink the blood, Tyrion.
Oh dear.
And then she says that she's gonna touch one of the chains.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw, please.
You fucking with me?
No, I think she's high on something.
Okay. So you're not shocked or dealt any sort of negative effects because you passed. But you see the one holding the very end of the other chains, even further behind Arizel, is a very familiar skull face.
Fucking
Hate it. Hate it.
Do you Shift Z that for me?
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, we
I
met
knew
him.
Yeah, we've met him many times.
So many times.
What kind of stupid skull needs an eye patch?
What a fucking loser.
Fuck that stupid skull.
He'll probably also two-round us.
I think we have an easier chance with him.
A much easier chance.
It's gonna be his lackeys that'll fuck us over.
You mean the one that can't fucking die?
He's gotta be running low on clones.
He is. I'll give that. But yeah, you see that. I'm sorry,
well,
but
I mean,
it does not work.
What? Was Syndra fucking with me when she told me to drink the blood? Obviously the player knows, but Tyrion rolled an insight.
Yeah.
Tyrion, just looking at Syndra, she looks high. Or rather, she looks like she's inebriated. Very inebriated.
The fuck are you? What, do you want me to get drunk?
Just her, like, okay, first of all, after seeing red, she immediately casts Dispel Magic. That's what those were.
Oh, magic.
Yeah, unfortunately, your attempts to dispel it. I would say
Higher than a level 7.
yes, even with the highest level, because this is etched directly. Because I'll give this to you with your intelligence. This is etched directly into Arizel's soul. So the spell you need is not one that manipulates magic, but rather the soul itself.
Man, if only we had a flower for that.
I imagine
Three
that
different things.
Arizel, like, sitting there, like, you know, there was suddenly, like, Syndra reached out and touched something, and then there is just hate as she casts that.
You can roll me a history.
And Ari would definitely be like, oh shit, it must have been pretty impressive if that's why.
Yeah. Ari's kind of concerned now. Like,
Syndra, you remember the beach with the two particular quote-unquote surviving red foxes? And what Tyrion shouted at you when one of them said a particular word and the other one suddenly exploded or combusted?
God, what did I yell?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Don't say those exact words to me.
I see.
Because they happen to have a certain branding on them.
But I understood that you didn't get branded by Red Fox. So I thought that was something that was mentioned, like they tortured her and stuff, but they never did finally brand her or anything.
No, they didn't. Do you say this out loud to Arizel?
Yeah, she literally says, I thought they didn't brand you.
sunshine. Whereof one.
Because Red Fox is holding your chains.
She looks real angry, and I don't want to make her even more angry, so I'm going to drink some blood.
Okay. Tyrion, Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
I believe in our idiots.
It's starting off at DC 14,
That I
and you
pass.
failed. Oh, wait,
Fuck
what?
that I pass.
Oh,
That
God.
is I would like to point out that is a 2, a 3, and a 3.
Wait, no,
Fuck that I pass.
I was gonna say, I gave you bardic inspiration and I didn't remove it. You gotta just use that instead.
I don't think that's gonna. I mean, it's probably like a D8 now. So it could have helped, but
That's a D.
Yeah, roll the
yeah,
inspiration for the resistance.
I forgot. So it's a D10.
Yeah.
Let me. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so cool. 17.
Alright, so you get to save your legendary resistance for now.
At least if you failed, you could have used it again.
I'm higher in a D10 than I have in 3 D20s
That's funny as fuck.
Okay.
together.
So, Tyrion, you start seeing the world differently. Similar case, like, you feel relaxed, euphoric. Like,
Is this familiar, like my old senses, or is this a new sense?
Actually, yes, that's right, because you were formerly a dragon. Yes, this actually feels very familiar.
Ah.
Because you also got true sight now for the brief moment again. And I will also say, you're starting to see almost the exact same things as Syndra did. But, Arizel, as you hear Syndra say this, can you roll me a history?
I was about to ask if like anything pops.
With
to
advantage, actually, in this particular, because this didn't happen too long ago.
Mind. Okay. Let's see, history.
Can't believe the woman you
Oh
slept
my
with
god.
actually is the
So,
one that fucked you
Do you
over.
remember the raid at Sir Raid's house? Or his manor? The particular
The
time
raid at-
when you, by yourself, or at least for a brief moment, you encountered a certain leader or red?
Yeah.
And before he somehow managed to ghost his way upward into the ceiling, as if unhindered by it.
Yes, I remember that, and I had to take that lovely fireball thing that would have killed us all. Yes.
Do you remember what he had in his possession? A little trinket? Something he should not have ever had?
I don't remember what it is though. Like, I remember. I think you described it.
The one valuable possession that you remember burying your brother with.
Ah, yes.
And you are certain
Damn it.
his grave was never desecrated because no one knows where his grave was at. Yet he has it.
Yes. Yep, I remember.
Do you remember your dreams about your brother? Or rather, I should say, do you recall them?
I recall. I'll be honest, I recall two of them. The one is the most recent one where what's his face has him and made him disappear. The other one, I believe, we were somewhere. I don't remember exactly where, but we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about something, and I don't quite remember, but I think he did show said item.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. What about it? I don't... Why? Okay.
I mean, it seems suspicious that, Red Fox has your brother's trinket. Like a nice little
I know.
trophy.
Son of a bitch. I hate it.
Moving on.
Moving on, who's next?
I mean,
I got up to go get a drink when you were explaining what Syndra saw on Mavis. So as I look over her, what do I see?
so for Syndra and Mavis, for Syndra and Tyranny, you see, for Mavis. Mavis, how do you feel right now after witnessing all that fear and everything?
I don't know.
It's
Fine,
okay.
considering.
It's okay. No worries.
But
Alright. So, Tyranny, actually, let's go with Syndra first. Syndra, you see a couple of images or figures standing both next to and behind Mavis. You only recognize one of them, but that's only because of descriptions and horrible events. Tyranny, you recognize both of them as standing quite literally in the same space next to Mavis is a certain person who shot you.
Yeah.
And a certain figure that is fully armored. And where are your... Oh, there you are. Never mind, I was looking right at you. Standing behind. Though the armor looks very cracked and broken, but yet still standing resolute.
I'm gonna walk over to Syndra. Catch me if I fall in you. I'm gonna try to mentally link with the armor.
Huh. Roll me insight.
All right. $17.
Okay. We're gonna get to that in a little bit because I want to get to Kermit. Hermit, you are being literally running full goddamn speed. And when I say speed, these guys are going full running. Do you stop them, or you let them take you to where they're going?
Oh no, I'm gonna let him take me.
Okay, you're here. I'm not gonna put all the sharp tooth there, but you're here.
All right, one sec.
And as you're entering, or rather, as they enter this village, you realize that their entire village is up in the trees as their raptors are running up the trees. And these trees are pretty thick and heavy too.
He set him like here?
Yes.
I bet.
And as they deposit you, what looks to be like the leader's hut or cabin, they just gesture to the doorway that's right here. And then they immediately depart, sounding various alarms. And along the way, you do see a bunch of little piles of what look to be like insectoid corpses being burnt. The damage around the area doesn't seem to be too bad. Definitely a lot of dead. And as you enter, you do see the familiar armored figure, which you did hear Tyranny shout out Zarambal was his name. And then you see two other figures which you have never met before. A slightly taller kobold wearing a skull mask. And a very, very old looking kobold, which you can clearly tell is old by the wrinkly, scaly skin and the fact that she is wearing robes and hides and also plants to cover up. The armor one looks over to you, Zarmball. Wait, you're the only one here. Where are the others?
We got broken up. You guys know what's out there, right?
There is a very quiet pause. Everyone's like looking around. And the oldest one over here, or at least the old one, just poking at the remains of a dead fire camp or sitting fire, just goes, not quite what we were used to.
So you have heard of it?
It is one of the new instances to this land. But I'd rather explain it once in one sitting. Son, could you please be a dear and reunite this one with the others? I believe there is much to be spoken about. He gets up very reluctantly and just adds, could I just send... The troops will be able to protect me. Now get going. There is a lot to be done before your duel.
My duel?
As you ask that question, she turns like, oh, that's right. You are a new instance, a new probability. Your other friend, one who has decided to champion our cause or aid us, has agreed to fight along with my son against the Venom Hand and their chosen few to unify the clans and tribes. There's been quite a lot of disputes, you can see.
Yeah, I can see that.
Does it bother you?
Nothing bothers me.
Oh, a brave one. Good, good. We need more of that in this land now, I think. More than ever.
Just need bodies. You're running out.
One could say that. Now, Zarmball, please lead this interesting fellow to the comrades. And please send my condolences to the fact that they lost one of their own.
Will do.
We will meet again.
Likewise. And as we're walking out, I'm asking them about if they have any chickens around here.
For feeding, yes, we do.
You should see my chicken.
Alright. That's gonna take a little while. Do you want to have any questions to ask besides the chicken moment?
No, that's fine.
Alright. It'll take a few minutes, or take a little bit for you to be reunited with the group. But now, returning to the party as, to return to the party's, little discovery. which, Tyrion, you were trying to bind or connect the mind to the, well, link telepathically your mind to the armor figure.
Yeah.
You rolled 17 with your insight. Let me just put this one back there. Can you roll me a D100?
I believe in you, Jeebus. You can't roll a 1 on that.
Come on, funny number. 15.
I mean, that's like a
Okay.
1.
It's more like a 2.
Yeah, I was actually realized I was on the wrong page. I was trying to click and drag one of my tokens, and I'm like, why is it not working? I'm the DM here. It's like, oh, I'm on the wrong page.
Actually playing from the player's side of point of view.
Yeah.
Surprising how much you could actually do on that page when you're the DM still.
So, the armored figure begins to dissipate, and you start seeing someone else, though in tattered fragments. Even the skin looks like it was made of porcelain, breaking, cracking, and whatever there are gaps, there's just empty black space. You feel like you have a connection, but it is clearly not paying attention to you.
He's just going to kind of give a general blanket statement. Fight him. Continue fighting him. We're on our way.
Maybe I got your sheet right. Yep, I got your sheet right here. And I'll just put it to public. So Tyrion, you see the head slightly turn, almost difficulty to do so, as if there is restraints and limits for it to move. Now here would be a question for background of your character, but has Tyrion ever seen a doll move? Or puppets?
There's a lot of weird shit that ends up on a ship, so maybe.
Have you ever seen them be played like a minaret? The
Nah.
puppets on the strings.
Definitely, yeah. No.
Alright, so Tyrion will never...
Kobold baronets are well known.
Yeah, so Tyrion would not know this, but for the player's perspective, it looks like the figure who has been broken apart to the point where it looks like a fragile porcelain doll is struggling to look at you, Tyrion. And it looks like a puppet on strings, fighting against the strings. But it
Tyrion's
is
never
weak.
done this before, but he wants to try to figure out how to channel the ley line energy
Oh.
and try to give her some.
Oh. Well, that's intriguing. This one's gonna require... It's gonna be an intelligence check. So,
Okay.
unless you have... It'll be just a straight intelligence. But, unless you have proficiency in Arcana or Religion, I'll give you a chance to roll either of those instead.
Do I at least get a sense of what the fuck's about to happen, considering what I am?
You sense energy's being transferred around. Syndra, you
Do
kind
I-
of see what Tyrion's somewhat seeing, if you're looking in his direction or the direction he's looking at.
Is there a way I could assist in any way? I guess not. Just Mine, I consume, I don't expel.
Not quite. You just feel the energy around because you didn't drink the blood, so you only know energy's moving around in a weird, funny way.
Weird that the fucking damp here is the only one that didn't drink the blood.
Alright.
Yeah. It's like we're stereotyping to protest on being vegan now.
Everybody cross your fingers. 5.
You still have your legendary if you want to burn it.
That's not. This isn't a save.
Yeah, no, this is a check. Not a save.
Oof.
Okay, 5.
Still not great at this shit yet.
No. So the chances are extremely low.
Low risk, low reward kind of.
Okay. So, O'Brien, you feel energy flowing around. Mavis, can you roll me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh no.
Oh.
Well, that meant Tyrannin just fucking made a conduit in the worst possible way.
Well,
So here's the painted scenario. Tyrannin, you feel like you successfully gave energy to the entity behind Mavis, and to those that are watching or feeling, well, Syndra, you definitely see it. The figure places its hand on Mavis's shoulder, which, Mavis, you do feel a sense of warmth, a familiar family warmth that reminds you of your stepmom, your adoptive mother. And before your eyes, which is why the roll was very low due to the intelligence check, the figure of the woman starts to shift, and Mavis, oh god damn it, I don't know why, it seems like just like with Jesus' dog that likes to play with the sweet toy on that day, it seems only on Sundays they just go ham with the sirens.
They're like, alright, shit's about to go down, let's get everything going at once.
But, alright, so going back to it. Mavis, you once felt the warmth of a familiar figure, a parental figure that always watching over you, at least on your shoulder. You now feel a very cold, almost painful touch on your shoulder now. And Tyrannin and Syndra, since you both have drank the blood, the armored figure looks more filled out now, more robust. And for the briefest of moments, the eyes glow menacingly red.
You know what? We could chalk that one up to my fault.
That is not good.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I tried to give Mavis's little friend over there a piece of... He just kind of points at his chest. I don't think I did it right.
No, I think it's about to try and kill you eventually.
It already has.
Well, I mean, not fail.
He turns around to the corpse. I think I've gotten everything off of this that I could. Shall we pack up and move to the Sharptooth camp?
I'm tempted to keep drinking this blood, because it's definitely proving a point.
It is, but also, you're looking a lot more draconic right now.
She's starting to smell more draconic.
It's kind of like a weird draconic movement that Syndra does. She kind of like turns, but at the same time like leans down to look at him, and she kind of pokes him in the chest. And you've got a rock in your chest, dear.
Yeah, that one we knew about.
Also,
Yes, but anything that can see like this must be seeing you from 50 miles away. At least I have camouflage.
But look at her, he points at Ari. It's got like a fucking horde.
Yes, that is disconcerting.
Also, fuck you! He points at the Skullman in the back.
Fuck him and fuck the other skull man too. That's the one that the man who with the Zavon got the did. But he was much taller.
Are you two just drunk? Like, actually blood drunk?
No, we have suicide. It's amazing.
Oh, chocolate dump is something I don't want to deal with.
Probably not. Your tiny brain might explode.
You remember when oh, Kermit, right? Where's Kermit?
Speaking of Kermit, he's actually right there.
Yeah, he turned around. I'm pretty sure he's coming up on.
Boom.
Weird, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a question. What do we see when we see Zarnball?
Zarnball looks a little bit disgruntled, but he looks over, picks up well, kind of shows that Kermit is hanging very briefly on the saddle, and Kermit, you're there. Zarnball's particular mount is moving much faster than the ones that you're used to. And he just kind of mumbles, "Seems the others are alive."
Please tell me he's fucking tearing it in Cinder's hands, which are covered in blood.
Well, Tyrion is probably also really covered in blood because he was like, whenever he carves something this large, he kind of has to go inside.
That's
Yeah,
true.
he does.
And my question was, with our sight, what do we see of Zarnball?
Oh!
And Kermit, since there was there.
No, that's fine, that's fine. I just realized that, yeah, this happens when you get true sight, so...
Miser, now I have to write down, true sight, everything happens all at once.
No, not at all. I do give something to make sure to show, so let me just,
It's bad when the Indiana Jones music starts.
That's when the rocks start falling.
Why did it have to be stakes?
I think it's the first time you guys have ever actually seen Faridar seem submissive in front of a raptor.
Oh, yeah. The other one looks and gives the acknowledgement, but then looks at everybody else. Kermit, you were, quote-unquote gently placed to the ground. And Tyrion and Syndra, when you look at Zarnball's particular form, or at least when you look at him with true sight, you see that there are vague shadows blurred out behind him. But they don't seem to have made any interactions with him. Although you do see one particular definite shape. Still no details. It looks like a very long serpent. But they all seem to be just hovering behind him in a watchful manner.
I packed up all of my notebooks yesterday.
Really? Cinder's gonna take one of her bottles. Like, she probably got an empty bottle from, all the rum she drinks. And she's gonna try and fill it with blood.
Zarnball, you're back. I'm assuming the village is safe then.
Zarnball looking at everyone. Yes, and my mother wishes to speak with you all as soon as possible.
Oh, good. We also wish to speak with her. I got what I could salvage from Jude, but might want to send a small contingent with some of your more proficient carvers. See what you guys can gain from them. Also, points at giant corpse. That's Jude.
Right.
There's a much larger and angrier primal that did this.
Yes.
Do you know his
Yeah.
name?
I was trying to tell them about it.
Truth be told, we do not know.
It has recently appeared.
New variation?
I don't know. Apparently my mother has some idea, which is why I'm curious as to why she withheld that information, if she knows about it.
Sindra, I really hope I'm not the only one of all of us has got a really bad feeling.
I mean, you guys could roll me an insight check.
You know what? Because I have no idea who these people be like.
Where have you been?
Wow!
Of course.
That makes way too much sense.
Of course. Damn, your raptor is good, Tyranid.
Yeah. I can't believe the raptor actually rolled better than fucking Eves could.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why I'm laughing so much.
I'm so pissed that I rolled low.
So, to those that got the
It wasn't a
20...
fuck sheet.
Yeah, so those who have the 20...
That makes sense.
It makes sense. You were dragged around a bit. So those that got the 20, because you were also no, let's go ascending. So Kermit, you're busy riding, and this large raptor that he has is even bigger than Teacup or the other mounts. It was moving very fast through the jungle. Smooth ride. And you do see Teacup, Bozamar. Bozamar looks pretty good, fine. In fact, looks very chipper as you realize that he managed to sneak a couple of pieces of meat in his mouth. And going up, Obrina, never met this, very tall, probably questionable, maybe not a kobold. On a very large raptor, maybe dragonborn, because he's at least medium size. Standing about roughly 5.5 feet. Definitely looks dour. Mavis, you never encountered this individual before either. Seems to have a dour expression if you can guess reptilian faces. At least from your understanding with Tyranid. But everyone that got a 20 and above, and ironically the ones who were actually met Zarambal in person.
Yep.
That are also somewhat draconic.
That too. He looks disgruntled. In fact, he seems to be very... I suppose the proper word of Tyranid is pissed off. But not directed at you guys. Something else. And I'm sure you all can guess why he's very pissed off.
Ah, maternal rage. I've never felt that before.
And he gives a look at the remains of Jade. Well, I didn't expect the day that Jade would fall to come.
Well, I think I have enough here for later, and we should probably get going.
Why is there blood on your mouth?
Why isn't there blood on yours?
That's
No,
the point.
That's his.
What are we drinking?
Now Zarambal takes a really good look at you guys. Wait. You were actually drinking the blood? You do know that's concentrated ley line energy.
I did it as a test, and weirdly right. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Also, you're interesting.
How did it hit? What does it do?
Don't worry about it, Primate. I don't think you can handle it.
Remember when you saw through your chicken? That
Oh, yeah. Oh, so you guys finally know now.
Yeah, speaking of which, as you guys look at Kermit, you see that very big giant black frog behind him.
Ew.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a slot.
Oh yeah. It's even got its claws, or its bladed arms poking into Kermit's form.
Come along, everyone. I'm sure Mavis has plenty of questions for you, Bala.
I'm sure we all have questions for my mother, as Zornball kind of says this almost through gritted teeth. Again.
Vari, look at me. He's trying to wrangle in Vari from the other. I always forget his mount's name.
Rippa.
But, yeah. Rippa. Fine. No, here.
Anyway, returning, and I'll just shift Z to where you guys should be at the here. So, giving a quick rebrief. You guys have traveled. Wait. Ow, that hurt.
Martha just hit himself apparently.
I just cracked my elbow. I don't know how I did that, but it just did. I just heard it. Anyway, so as Armball's leading you guys back to the Sharptooth camp, you begin to see what Kermit has saw. Lots of piles of dead Hive Stinger tribesmen, various drones, warriors, even a few others that you never encountered before. You also see a few greenish looking insectoids. And sadly you do see quite a few dead Sharptooth members. And occasionally a couple of the Bone Breakers. A lot of their bodies are being burnt, though most of them are being buried into the earth in mass mounds. Eventually, once you reach the village, which hasn't suffered too much damage, you do see what looks to be like a bunch of fireball scorch marks here and there.
Sure, Binge has a horrible time with the rope ladder.
Oh
I
yeah.
guess as we're kind of passing through, Oberina will kind of strike up her harp and just play a few like smaller funeral dirges.
Okay. Roll me a performance.
Should I roll a?
Yeah.
All right. Been a while since I rolled one of these. Hold on. Ah, yes. Now I remember how to bard.
So, as you play this, surviving Sharptooth members and some of the Bone Breakers that are there, they give you a acknowledging nod. They don't seem to be offended. Curious, you're playing music, but they do feel the somber tone of it. And Oberina, Mavis, you've not been here before, but when you get to what looks to be like a clustered part of the jungle, you realize that Zarambal, at least the lead Cobalt leader, is going upward. And you see that their entire village is up in the trees. Which eventually, you get to the landing. Zarambal dismisses his mount and heads off elsewhere while he simply says, "A moment. I wish to still ask something of my mother. I'll call for you guys in a moment." And he steps in. And I'm just going to roll this for this guy because he got his own particular situation to handle.
He got his own metaphorical and literal demons.
Very much so.
Damn, I was expecting a chair to be thrown out of the hut.
A few minutes passed, and those closest you do feel the very tense air as Zarambal, and to those who remember, that is his sister Yingima, and I'll
Ah, Ian Gimma. Good to see you again.
Oh wait, that's the other apprentice. There we go. Yep. I had the sibling thing wrong. That is not Zarnbal's younger sister. That is the other apprentice. But it's still, but she's still an apprentice. Oops. I make mistakes sometimes.
Weird.
Yeah. She just nods. Yes, the elder wishes to speak with you all. I need to report to Shaktima about this. And Zarnbal, very much now openly aggressive, just growls. I'll inform my sister. You keep an eye on things. The rest of you have much to speak with my mother. And quite literally just starts storming off, and you can even hear the clawed feet digging into the platform.
He always said angry. That's the wrong voice. I went out to read it for a minute.
No. But he's going to be really pissed right now, and I'm going to link to him. Any questions that you wanted to be able to get answered, I might be able to. Is there anything you wanted me to ask her?
He pauses, stands. I'm just gonna roll this for him.
Gonna get my ass kicked.
Oh no.
There's almost a resounding roar, which does not, is not even directed at you, but you feel the pressure of it. No, this is personal problems. I'm sure you, as one with your own tribe, must understand.
Absolutely. Just wanted to see if I could help.
It's best you
No.
listen to what she has to say to you. She does not have much time.
And I'll end the cover. I'll end the link. We should go quickly.
As Ngima.
Binge, you're an outside guard.
Yes, sir. He kind of gives you a salute, and he kind of looks around. I don't want to fall from this height.
Then don't.
He immediately stands.
Yeah, get more centered.
I always forget that alt is like the thing that just said.
So, as you do enter this particular cabin hut, you realize it's darker than before. As, even though it was still pretty much day. And here it feels like it's evening now. No light coming from outside is in this particular room. The only light that's illuminating is the one that's in front of Yabala, and I will... the Elder of the Sharp Tooth. And she is, with her stick, very calmly and very bored, as one would call it, as she pokes at the fire. Not looking at any of you, she just makes the address. Welcome back, although I suppose it should have been under better circumstances. My condolences to one of your own that has, well, decided to return to the cycle and not break free from, well, their predestined fate.
Never really been one for much for destiny.
Miser, is the true sight going still?
No, it is not. Or rather, what happened is that the true sight seems to have been forcibly shut off as you enter this hut.
God damn it.
I see.
I don't.
Ah, I see you partaked in a bit of the blood. How did it feel to see more than what you would normally see?
Like getting back to normal.
I suppose that is what we all can ask for. Normalcy.
Feel fighting blind like this.
It could be worse. It could be much worse. Now, considering that, pauses, looks at some of you, or at least you feel eyes are gazing at you, but her face is still covered with the lily pad. I suppose pretenses no longer need to be made, or at least the use of information in conversations.
No, I don't think it's...
Oh, I know
we
that
don't have any
you...
preconceived understandings.
I know you survived your ordeals at the temple, and have returned with more enlightened grasp of our situation. Thus, I am now able to provide truth, at least within my abilities. One I am sure you have or have come close to, and I suppose it would be time to properly exchange information. But I must be certain that you will not fall into despair and lose hope. If you do, then this 13th time that I have done this would be for naught.
Only 13, I assumed more.
13th as in this is the 13th time we've had a second conversation.
Again, I had higher hopes for us.
I did too.
Sorry. Albrina will kind of like pipe in. Out of how many exactly?
You, my dear child, of certain connections of old acquaintances. I'm surprised you came back to this land. Although in a new form in flesh, your spirit is still very much the same.
What about me?
You are a new instance here, though it seems like your connection to certain problems are oddly coincidental in nature.
Huh. The only question, at least before you explain everything, should I be worried of what I was before?
No, as she pokes again at the fire with her stick. What you should be more worried about is what you are more or less been destined to become, if you do not find ways to change it. Similar to like a certain other part of you, or another instance of you, decided to, instead of breaking the cycle as she attempted to do so, fell back into it, whether by her own doing or her own foolishness. I can't quite say, since I can't detect or understand the will of individuals.
Just to be clear, you're talking about Eteria, aren't you?
Yes, the Star Child who had given me hope that she would break from her particular cycle, and disappointed me.
I think you really just skipped to the good part.
Yes, I felt it, the presence of the erasure. To think all that effort for naught. Makes me worry about my own endeavors. Now, as I've said, I am certain that you all have questions and the like. I am willing to answer what questions you have. But first, answer my question. What do you understand or think you understand as of now?
Would you all like me to go first?
Sure, Tiernan, why not?
Well, from what I've been keeping track of, we believe Ed is trying to resurrect some sort of amalgamation of Ao and Eric Haas, which lies dormant in the Sleeping Mountain, or is the Sleeping Mountain, still not sure on that point, to bring the world to the End Titan. I believe that I've been in this loop the longest, followed by the rest of them. And that this particular instance has come with a lot of anomalies that haven't been in previous. I'm sure I missed a lot of details, so Cinder, how about you fill her in with what you know? Well, Mavis or Marina or anybody really?
Well, I do have a few questions about some spots that I'm not certain of. There was a female individual. My understanding is she's a lot older. She's the author of, well, 3 books, or at least has had a hand in them. Purple skin, jaw, face covering. Seems very interested in very old symbols, like the one on Overina's book, or on Tyrannan's forehead. At least that's the understanding of Nicholas, this book. And she pulls a Nicholas out.
The book is silent for
his
now.
original author.
The book is silent for the moment.
Any idea who that is, Yvonne? Just so I can understand where things are coming from.
You're referring to... There's a pause, as if to give a title or address the individual that comes to mind. Liliana Defoe. No one can't really call her a necromancer or mage or human or mortal creature at this point. I see she left one of her things around. Last I recall, she was looking for a gate. But that was well over 500 years ago. As for your guess, young Tyrannin, you're not wrong. The land, the Sleeping Mountain, is there is a combination of the King of Terror and the World Shaker. And I suppose you are correct. This is indeed another world that you are in. Neither Toril, neither Aberel.
And that's why you gave me this, and he points at his chest.
A wild gambit, I will admit, but one I believe you are capable of handling.
I've been doing alright so far. It's definitely come with its own difficulties, though.
All growing periods are difficult, especially when becoming something new and...
But I do have a question with that. Am I absorbing both, or just one of the energies in these ley lines?
Energy has its own form, its based form, if you would call it that, the primal energy. One would even call Io, Null, as primal as well, but we give them gods as their title. Power is still power, regardless of what we call it. And all of you can feel the slight steel coldness of the voice. Regardless if it's Eric Haas or Io, would you deny power if given to you? Or rather, if you can seize it to protect what is important to you?
I haven't yet.
Yes.
And none of my companions are dead besides the one that chose it.
It is an unfortunate thing, but in the end, power is simply seen as a tool, a means to an end. It is the will behind it that defies its form. Looks over to you, Syndra, such as like necromancy. Many will see it as a cruel and dark art, and yet, on the other hand, can be used as the art of healing to understand the body, or even release the tormented souls of those who cannot pass on.
So you asked us what we know, or think we know.
I do.
What I do know is that Tyrion and myself and Binge, the one outside, have been marked by Null. Null has shown us the Titan of the End, or the potential of Ed's success. We know that Ed has, at least in one form or another, existed since what we call the Nethril Empire on Toriel. But he has been across other worlds, such as the one Binge is from, such as Abir. Who knows how many others, under how many names. We know that he creates golems out of necromancy and more common crystallization of energy and souls to control them. We know that he is somewhere near the heart of the Sleeping Mountain, which he has, at least in one variation of the universe, constructed into a, well, pseudo-golem, it would appear, which would make us assume that he is going to use it to become the Titan of the End, or something similar, so that he has the full control to rewrite the universe as he sees fit. I have my assumptions that Null is both for the obliteration of the universe, but also fighting against it, whereas the remains of Ao stands the part that is currently being used in a construct. Parts like Tyranid are potentially fighting to protect everything, but they don't actively know it yet. I also know that we have made multiple chances at this. This is our 13th time of a second chance. We've talked to you out of at least 100. Null has stated that this is the final chance, and everything goes gone. Whether I trust Null or not is a different question. We know that Ataria was connected to some kind of dragon that came between worlds, something from beyond with this Golden King. Same with Overina here, but we know that a book connects between the different variations of what's going on, provides information, direct communications to certain beings, but is also an anomaly that should not exist.
It seems my efforts were not in vain. It seems you have learned much more than you had the previous times, as my, well, one would say future selves have warned me many of a times.
Tyrion looks over at Mavis. I think we've had a bit of a cheat this time.
You are right. This is indeed another world, and one that is a world meant to remain adrift in the astral sea, where you see, as you have surmised, this world is composed of the remains of Io and Eric Husk. They are both integral to this world as we are a part of it. This world has no name, for it needs none. It is simply a world that prospered upon the corpses of two dead entities of the Dawn War.
We're on a flying tomb.
Repeat that one more time.
Cinder just says, we're on a tomb.
Yes, that's exactly it. It is unfortunate, but you outsiders were never meant to find this world, and those that do just become part of it. A repeating cycle. Then she looks over to you, Oberina. Although some do manage to break free from it and return to other worlds or variants of other worlds. This world was not meant to be anchored to so many other worlds for so long. And yet it is.
Question.
I may answer if able.
If we fail here, what happens to the other self of ourselves that's outside of this world? There is another me on Toriel right now.
As you ask that question, Yabala looks over to the fire and she just goes, and the fire goes out instantly. You're all in darkness. Even those with dark vision, some reason it doesn't activate. You don't see anything. It's just darkness.
Let's see.
As you say
So
this,
failure here. Failure to everything, huh?
as you speak out, Syndra, no voice comes out of you. It is unnerving silence. And then the fire is lit back up again. That happens as you can feel some sensations again return. Everything just ceases. Poof. Gone. No rhyme, no reason, no resistance. I suppose some would embrace that. But I'd at least like to have the choice to die. Or at least where I can choose to die.
I fought for everything I have. I refuse.
Good. No, returning to your other questions about the mage I believe you're referring to. I know not what goes on outside of this world, this tomb world as you would call it. For that's not my place, nor originally not my interest. However, situations have changed and I had to step out of my original purpose. No, the Night Dragon. It is not that he takes a neutral stance or is for or against us. It is simply he cannot interact with this world, not with the heavy heart he suffers from. As I said, this world is made by both the body of his other half and the body of his hated enemy. Even death has some scruples it will not cross.
I see.
Then she adds, would either of you, if you have a sibling or a loved one, would you desecrate their grave for the sake of the world or the universe? And do not pay me lip service. I truly do mean, would you desecrate your entire loved one's grave, their corpse, down to the last molecule of its existence, to save everyone else that you don't even really know?
Oh jeez, I need to make a roll.
No.
Yes.
Without hesitation.
She's going to incite all of you. Oh, that's Zarambal.
And then say no.
Pretty sure one of us already desecrated a grave for his betterment.
The eyes look in, and all of you feel like she's looking right into your very souls. By the way, what is the answer for Kermit and Mavis? She is directing this question to everyone.
Yes, of course.
I'm pretty sure Kermit already did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's kind of already kicked that one in the taint.
That is
Yep.
true.
Like, what a fucking stupid question.
Yeah. What was Mavis' answer? Or did she answer truthfully, or?
Oh, I said yes, sorry.
Okay, so you do.
Am I the only one who said no?
No,
I
Ari's up.
said no.
Yeah.
I
so-
didn't hear it.
Yeah. No, I was just asking for Mavis. Did you answer truthfully that you would desecrate the grave of your precious loved
Yes.
one? Is it truthful? Is what I should ask.
Yes,
All right.
it is.
So, starting with Kermit, because the guy has already performed it.
Yep.
You, I see potential in perhaps changing this instance to a further future than what I have been seeing. Looks over Barina. Well, yeah, I have no doubt you would do what you need to do. The fact that you have returned here bothers me more than you ever know. Especially considering your attachment to your mother. Then tilts her head to the side. Would you desecrate your father's grave willingly, your current father? And not waiting for you to answer, she turns, looks to you, Mavis. And you, child who's been torn and tormented by fate, could you really desecrate the whatever remains of the broken shell of your dear stepmother, your adopted mother who raised you, now been turned into a thing of another's control? Would you really desecrate her remains to save people you don't really know, or known only for a little while?
If I had to, yes.
I really hope you're not paying me lip service. As she then turns, looks to Tyrannin.
Tyrannin looks fucking pissed.
Keep that rage, for you'll be needing it in the future, especially with the upcoming duel. But at least you spoke honestly. There is no...
My family shall rest with Bahamut as they are now.
She says as she turns slowly to Arizel, but still directed to Tyrannin. If the Mad Mage and whoever else is behind him have their way, there will be no Bahamut, no betrayer, no usurper. There will be nothing.
That's why I'm here.
Good. You too have spoken honestly. There is no right and wrong answer, but remember that you need to be resolute in your choice. Sometimes And when they say that love will set someone free, you might need to dirty your hands more so than ever. And finally to Syndra. As I said to the young woman who has been torn by fate and tormented by individuals that manipulate things beyond their understanding, I pray tell that you do not pay me lip service and go through what you resolve yourself to do so. Since, well, at least in this instance, you have managed to save most, if not all, of your comrades. And I should be thankful that at least this version of you has more empathy to your comrades.
I have more empathy for sure. More love. More understanding. But when you ask that question, she kind of tilts her head up and just locks eyes with you, Bala.
Oddly enough, despite the lily thing on her head, you do feel like she's staring right at you.
If I had to desecrate their corpses down to nothing, I know that their ghost would be guiding my hand. Even Amana would stand there with me. In death. Because we have fought for everything we have. And a body is just a body once it's dead.
Good. That is the answer I'm waiting for. It is a little pity that my son is still being very stubborn about that particular choice. But he has his heart in the right place. Now, to business. The truth about myself. I'm sure you've been guessing it. I am no mere kobold that leads the Sharptooth tribe as its shaman. But can you guess? Or at least give an articulated thought?
Well, I'm between one of two outcomes. One, you're either a very old dragon or other being that has been here to learn the situation and knows what's going to happen because you exist outside of timelines. Or, and this one is very far out there, one of my plans succeeds, and you're the resultant.
Sometimes the most simpler answer is the best choice, Syndra. Or perhaps I should call you Sedostra. At least a shadow of her for now. But Syndra will have to do. I am neither of those. I was a kobold. At least till 800 years ago. As the snout kind of points more toward Arizel, until I was made one of the 3 champions of the Sleeping Mountain. I am among the oldest that exist here, alive still in this land, this world.
That puts it a lot more into perspective than I thought it would.
I was muted, but I totally said that.
I have a question then.
was still locked in the darkness. Nobody heard me.
Yeah, Taryn just like he finally his vision just cleared
Oh.
up. Like fuck.
I'm so sorry, but I didn't hear it.
I'm like, what? No responding to what I said. Fucking dumbass.
God damn it. But I have God fucked up the whistle a little. I have a singular question rather. Do
Speak.
you possess one of the keys to the gate of the King in Yellow? Or, sorry, Golden King.
The burp.
Yeah. That's this Tyranid finally coming out of the darkness.
The blood's coming back.
That's rude.
Really? Scared to be with myself again.
Do you need me to ask the question again, Visor, or no?
Yeah, ask the question because I didn't hear it at all.
Oh, okay. Of course. Do you perhaps possess one of the keys to the gate at the end?
No. My role is in this world and this world alone. What goes on outside of this world is none of my concern. Although, as I said before, due to the interlopers and interference exploits of others from outside of this world, I had to revise my role a bit. Well, yes, my source of extremely long life is due to the will of the Sleeping Mountain. No, I am not as powerful as I used to be in my prime days, centuries ago, though I can still give some of those particular dragons in the outsiders' town by the port side a decent fight and give them some memorable scars. However, returning back to the golden or end, no, that exceeds far beyond my capabilities. Though I suspect the Sleeping Mountain itself may be raring for a battle in the far future for that situation.
One other question, because it at least has been quite curious, something floating on my mind. Why exactly would you send a world-destroying titan out to feast on the depraved souls of everyone outside of the cycle if it would only bring ruin, rather than keep it contained in a smaller circle?
That is of a different manner, but to explain it as best as I understand it, this world was meant to simply stay adrift in the astral sea. The fact it has become locked in place, influences and interferences from other worlds have begun to seep in and twist what is usually the normal things that goes on. You yourself, at least your previous selves, had broken out of this world. As to why you've came back in this form or another, that is something even I do not know nor understand. The fact that you have come back here, there is some meaning or reason to it, I don't know. But I will not turn down a useful asset that might turn the fate of not just this world, but the entire universe as we know it.
But you're willing to make a gamble on the fact that you're bringing something that can end this world altogether.
If my gambit succeeds, the universe and all those that exist continues to live on. If it fails, we exist as nothing, and I don't have to think about it afterwards.
No, I hate how sound that fucking logic is.
When you live well beyond the age of mortals, or even some dragons, as well as gain knowledge of how the universe works, you begin to prioritize things that mean things to you. Deep down, I am still the young kobold that wishes to see her tribe prosper and survive. If I must destroy an entire part of this world so that my tribesmen and my kinsmen can survive, so be it. Though, I still need to follow my priorities, or at least my allegiance to the Sleeping Mountain.
Anyone else got anything like? Oh, sorry.
And then she just simply resumes shuffling the burning fires with her stick. I do hope you all have some more questions. Even if it sounds, as they say, a stupid question. It is only stupid or unreasonable if you do not ask. I am simply not going to divulge all the information unless I am certain you have the resolution to see things through.
Who is the primal that just killed Jade?
Ah. Finally, we're getting to more intricate questioning.
I really hope I'm not correct in my theory.
The process of primals being born is now becoming twisted.
Shit.
And you will meet that individual again very soon.
Shit.
Tell me, what comes to your mind as I say these things, young Tyrannin?
Handily shit.
I believe this primal has been awakened and then molded by our mutual enemy for his purposes.
Zing!
Magically enhanced by Dominguez, and is either under his control or doing his bidding unwillingly.
You are close. It is outside interference. But the individual, this new primal, follows no one other than its instincts and past lives, goals.
What's its weakness?
I don't believe it has a normal weakness. At least as far as I understand these new primals that are starting to be born in this world. They are like a cancer. They seep the energy in, but they don't give it back.
How many of them are alive right now.
There's a deep breath from Yabala as she taps the ground with her stick. And I'm just gonna roll her perception. There you go.
Holy fuck. Wow.
Dear God. You see it
Well, no,
all?
she's kind of like a god at this point.
There are sadly, as I feared, 5.
And there's more being born?
At the moment, no. But 5 have already established themselves. 2 that
Maybe
you've
weaponized?
encountered.
No, we need to kill them.
Brings up a point that I would like to make. The end goal, since I have, let's say, a piece of his essence in me, has it weakened his resolve or hold on anything, or only made it worse?
I was wondering when you're going to ask that. If not, I was going to wonder why you have a piece of him inside you.
It's a long story.
I need not ask the details, but he is one of the other twisted amalgamations that have come to this world. Originally, the primal that ruled the Flatlands. She starts messing around with some of her magic, and let me get the former one that got killed. I had him here. That's him. That's the one. Where did I oh, here you are. Wow, this thing's taking a bit. There we go. You see an image as she uses, well, Syndra as a arcane user. You do see that she's using a harmless form of major illusion. This was the former primal before it was devoured.
Now I propose to you a rather interesting question, considering my current, if we were to defeat Yengal, would there be a way to even though he is dead, using the energy from Yengal's body, would we be able to reinstate Razor to some capacity?
No.
Okay.
As she says it very flatly. The role of a primal, while holding an aspect or a piece of the will of the sleeping mountain in some form or capacity, as well as being a manifestation of the dream's will, and I suppose one could say faith, of this world and its inhabitants. Its final objective, once it is perished, must give back to the land. That is why these other ones, these 5, are twisted amalgamations. They take, but they don't give back. 1 second. The
Oh,
cleaning machine outside of all things.
cleaning up all the bullshit.
Oh dear. I didn't think I shit that badly. Alright, continue on.
Fine. So, if we were to depose Yanko, with the land, I understand the energy flow would be better for the land as a whole. But would deposing the land of a primal be horrible in the long run?
Yes. You'll end up inquiring the wrath of the Sleeping Mountain.
Is there a way we could reinstate the primal with the energy, but still give back?
There's a pause, thinking about it. It has not been done before. You may attempt it.
With this, right?
No.
Points at his chest again.
She looks at it. Flat says no. That was a means to deal with the infection, the parasite. In a sense, I was giving you a... pauses to think of the proper terms of it. A boost in power. Since watching you, or at least seeing the future visions of the various times you have been slain or killed, was becoming troublesome.
This brings me to my next point. Give me a minute. Sorry. Brain just stopped for 1 second.
I have a very odd question then.
Oh, I just got it too. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, if we were to become champions of the land that, or say the pieces or primals that we slay, much like Arizel, does that mean we could create our own primals crafted by the champions in a weird inverse way?
There has been attempts to that. However, in order to do so, well, you'll have to consider it this way. When one truly becomes a primal, they must forsake their past. These amalgamations, these false primals, as I would call them, have not given up on that and still pursue their mortal lives' coils and desires. A champion has freedom of that, but they must be bound to the duty of the primal. As such, I, who is one of the 3 champions of the Sleeping Mountain, am still allowed to interact and take care of my tribe. However, should I ever ascend beyond that level, I must forsake my clan, my tribe, to live for a higher purpose. The most important thing is that once one gives up being a champion, they revert back to the moment that they had changed. In my case, I would rapidly age to the point where I am dust. That is why, as she looks to you, Arizel, a champion has a choice. Primals, when they have a choice, they cannot back down from it.
Curious. So we saw the hunger come out of one of the lay points of the dagger. Back when you helped me to save her life, and Asheria to save Tyrion's life. Do the primals, once they are reintegrated into the ley energy, is that how they come back? Just a new incarnation brought forth from those points?
Yes.
So while we could not remake the previous primal, theoretically we could replace it with a new incarnation.
That is correct.
I see. Or the much more insane idea would be to make sure that if a situation did occur, we were able to quell the sleeping mountain.
It is possible. As it is, the sleeping mountain hears and feels very slightly the sensations its champions goes through.
I'm curious about how it's alive. In a sense, I suppose. Be able to make champions if it is an amalgam of corpses.
You use the term amalgamation, but in reality the sleeping mountain is more of a fusion, a new birth. I suppose a blasphemous idea or wording would be that it is the offspring of the corpses of Eric Haas and Io, as these two were never really of gender, so to speak. It is why I mentioned earlier, power is simply power, a tool or a step necessary. What do you suppose happened when the corpses of two very powerful entities since the Dawn War were to be left alone? Yes, the soul of Io was gone. It has been split into Bahamut, the betrayer, and Tiamat, the usurper. And then the mind was become to Saradan. And of course, whatever else was left was left. Primal energies, the rage of it, became the catastrophe dragons. The also vain and called upon prismatic great worms were formed from the vast amounts of various scales that were still whole. And of course, all the various colored dragon flights out there. Tell me, do you really think that just because Io's soul is gone, that Eric Haas's soul was gone upon his death at the hands of the Night Dragon, who well, you know him as Null, but we know him as the Night Father.
We also knew him as the Reaver.
Indeed.
I guess I assumed that being death, that they would have taken Eric Haas's soul just as much as they took Aeon's. Or if they didn't, both souls would have fell with their corpses.
Yes.
upon bleeding so much as you see that you have both taken a sip upon it and not been turned inside out in some way or another. I believe you come to understand that this land has now become its own unique being. Not a amalgamation of the sort, but an actual, well, world born through the corpses of two dead gods into a new life. But sadly one without actual purpose.
A truly wild land, then.
I fucking hate you.
But there was purpose. Is purpose. But it would seem that it no longer serves that reason. Like all things that grow, it seems to want to change what it was.
And that change...
Because at the end of the day, the purpose was to keep two of the most powerful beings in everything gone. So that we never had the Dawn Wars again. The universe adapted. Ao created itself into countless copies, able protecting everything that they made. Eric Huss split into countless primals, finding their places across multiple worlds. And here stored the bulk of them, safely away so they can't destroy everything that's been. But, as you said, it's a new being. And one that is now being manipulated by a creature that we really don't know all that much about, other than the fact that it's almost as old. And that's our primary problem. We know a lot about it, and yet at the same time we know nothing.
I suspect the being behind all this and your mage is older.
I've come to that conclusion as well. But the magic used, that actually boggles me a little bit. They appear to be very versed in the arts of golemancy, necromancy. Seems like a few other things, perhaps, but it doesn't make sense that that's what they're utilizing. It's like they don't see an entire other spectrums of spells, something that old wouldn't rely on just one thing.
But what do they have in common, this golemancy and necromancy?
Utilizing primordial energy into constructs.
No.
Either by
The
forcing
concept. You're smarter than
being
this.
soul.
What is the similar baseline concept that they are manipulating?
Life flow or a cycle.
Life.
Yes. Energy directly into something. Either willingly or unwillingly.
Tell me. And she looks at all of you, especially toward the females of the group, which is basically the majority.
All but fucking turn into Kermit.
Yeah.
Oh no,
The
he's an
boys.
amphibian. Dude, oh, no, come on. He's a grung, he's an amphibian. He you know, if there ain't enough females around, he...
She goes and asks, do you know how much energy it takes to birth a life?
No.
Yes.
Now, as old as I am, I had made sure to keep at least my two remaining clutch in stasis until the time was right, I suppose one would say. Now, my understanding, at least if I have been seeing things, with the amounts of energy that they had been collecting but not giving back to the land, what do you suppose this Titan of the End actually is?
The end of a loop to collect the energy that hasn't been refunded.
Well, if you're going to erase everything to rebuild it, you have to maintain the energy. Energy can neither be nor created nor destroyed. So it's a collector. It's a birth in a universe.
Or
Indeed.
rather, dump what's left of it and just let it sit forever. Because as you said, this place was meant to move freely, but now that it is unhinged, someone has to, metaphorically, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, sweep away the trash that is collecting all along the road.
And one moment, DM needs to be right back. Just a 2-minute break.
This is what I
Yeah,
get for
just won
calling
Stanley Cup.
This is what
Yeah,
I
they
get.
did.
This is what I get for calling
Fuck
this
yeah,
universe
Gofado.
trash. Alright, so, I think everything's gonna be fine. We just gotta replace the primals, or the Titan of the End is gonna repurpose everything, and the Sleeping Mountain are gonna have a fucking duel. That's fine. There's like 3 different ways this can end. Like 2.
Yeah, well, all we have to do is feed all of the primals that aren't giving back their energy to fucking, to Ari's primal, and everything will be fine. We'll just have the world's most powerful storm.
Now the problem is that it might cause an imbalance, and that'll also awaken the Sleeping Mountain, which we're trying not to do. That's why I'm thinking we're better off creating newer ones rather than feeding it to one, because I feel like that'll cause a power imbalance.
Actually, I think there is a bigger plan. The only way to restore balance.
Murder everything.
Yeah, I love it.
And I'm back.
Set things aflame.
Alright, so what you're saying is
On fire.
so what you're saying is we're gonna deep fry a pickle. Got it.
Yep, absolutely. That's how we're gonna do this.
That is water and fire damage.
If
Absolutely.
only water damage was a thing. Sadness.
Alright.
It is
Well,
when you're using vaporized.
It doesn't exist in any fucking game outside of mine.
Yeah, I learned my lesson for
there's
drinking
steam damage.
too much water before the campaign.
Okay.
But anyway, so Yabala adds a commentary, at least the debate of the Titan of the End. Yes, without energy being returned, and everything simply being reduced to oblivion. Where do you think the source of that would happen or come from? Or should I say, the true identity of the Titan of the End?
I don't know, but I do know the man who opens the door is Dominguez.
The only beings capable of it that we know of, again, the Dagon, would be Ao and Null, as they were birthed at the beginning and created what exists. But this idea would be creating something and then releasing that energy to create a new incarnation, similar to how the primals would be incarnated here.
Adoria's gonna look at Yabla.
Battery is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. No, no, this will make sense in a second. No, Adoria's gonna look at.
Up.
No. This will actually make sense for what's gonna be asked, because my brain was on a wavelength. She'll look at Yabla. Is Obarina truly gone?
No.
You're right there.
Fucking Adoria, my brain's being really dumb.
Yeah.
I hate my.
Oh my god.
That was your own fault.
Yup.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's what she's gonna say as she's looking at the fires. You mentioned that she was erased, but you didn't say perhaps maybe essence of her hatred or anything could be recycled like much of this world is, considering we are at the end of oblivion.
Someone who adds clarity to my statement. When I say erased, I meant all her endeavors to actually stop this insanity. For you see, now that the whatever good, or at least good intentions of her is now gone, the rest, or the original part of her, will commence whatever foul plan it has.
Unless, and I say this in the most unusual way, because we have memory of her. She's not gone, but everything thinks she is.
It is
Even
a
herself.
small chance. Minuscule.
Yes, but we're talking the end of the universe. Every chance has its point and its reason. Does it not?
There is a pause. A slight shuffle, as if a crotchety old woman is trying to stubbornly rebuke it right now, but it's more of a I don't want to put any more faith on the one that disappointed me. But then there is the collective thought of the more rational mind of it. Well, if you believe there is a chance, and since the end is coming, I suppose you still have some time before the eclipse happens.
Knowing how stubborn she is, I'm sure she's not given up on her endeavors, even if she is in a bleak state. Also, this brings up a thought. Mavis.
God damn it.
Mavis.
Yes.
How many people actually remember the name Opera?
That is a good question.
You can roll me history to advantage because you hear your adopted mom's name often.
Is it history?
Yep, an advantage.
14.
As far as you may remember, or at least know, she is a well-known name. At least a folk hero name. There is some mismatching rumors or myths about her because you yourself sort of witnessed it. Your adopted mother staying as young, or at least looking as young as she has for so long while you were growing older. People wonder if she was possibly a vampire or some sort of a pseudonym for young girls who become warriors. So while Akra, the name Akra Stormblood is not unusual, in fact, people do remember or react to the name, there are some connotations that go along with it of the Is this really just a folk hero, or... God damn, I really am annoyed with these people driving traffic crazy here. Or rather, it's just a myth. Okay, who the fuck is trying to play, Who's playing goddamn Grand Theft Auto outside?
Adaria has come back from the grave.
Wait,
You
what?
can't stop me.
No, it's just some motorbikers outside getting ready to drag race from the looks of it.
Oh, wow.
I'm just like, man, what's going on? I understand today was the Pride Parade, but I think they're getting a little too crazy with the motor vehicles outside on Sunday nights. Anyway, so cliff notes for Mavis. Akra, your adopted mother's name, is known. It's just a matter of either it being a myth or folklore, folk hero.
Her name is widely known, but mostly kind of like a story, or a tale you would hear.
So, I mean, that just confirms the theory that I had. The armors that Ed are making are not in the same state that Ataria is in currently. They aren't sent to the end and abolished from history or memory. Kind of thought he was trying to pre-create what she did. But it seems like all of the armors that at least we know of the names of are remembered.
That's the thing. There is a story amongst necromancers because of its ties to certain beings that, such as, well, Olympic. Where he once learned a way to kill a god with a single word. He was promptly destroyed in the same way, and then reincarnated. And the word was lost. But nobody remembers the god, because it was erased from existence. Nobody remembers. We remember Ataria, which means she wasn't completely erased from existence.
Exactly. I'm glad you found the thread I was pulling at. She's not yet completely erased, but erased from most.
And,
You see that?
So
Continue.
she's even more stubborn than a god.
There might be a way, as Yabala has rolled a freaking nut 20 on her Arcana. God damn it.
Let's go!
That's why I rolled 2 2s and a 3.
You died for our sins, so she could figure out how to undo some bullshit.
Although the timing would be very complicated considering your promise to the Sharptooth and Bonebreaker tribes to fight for the unity of 3 tribes. As well as the fact that I do not have the sufficient power source to create a casting wheel into the astral sea. And mind you, there is a chance that this will fail completely, with the failure of you all also being trapped in whatever state that Ataria is at. And a slim chance of success that you may pull her from the oblivion that she is in. What was that, little?
Yeah, Syndra's Actually, I have an idea of another way.
Oh.
And it would mean that we have all the time left in the universe. And then some, if it works. But I do fear that if I mention it, it does change the possibility.
Then keep it close and lock it very tightly to your soul. However, if you are in a rush to pull her from the brink of oblivion, or wherever she is at, the ritual would require immense power. No doubt you'll at least need one corpse of a primal to perform it.
Tyrion will eye Oberina. I think we have the perfect victim for that then. And I'm sure in 2 weeks' time there'll be a power shift.
There will be multiple power shifts.
And most likely during that power shift, the outlier will make their move.
I actually have a concern. We're still waiting 2 weeks out for our conflict with the Venom Hands. I can only imagine that the reality is that the raiders are Yingol and these wretched insects are making their moves equally against everyone.
So
the
it's still
Hands are having problems.
Unless
Us, the Bone Breakers.
the Bone Breakers have lost contact. I would like to use that 2 weeks to go and make sure they're doing all right.
There are some bone breakers amongst the handling of the dead. Though, I will say this now. I do need a favor from you all. As he shuffles the fire a little bit more.
Tyrion will unsheath his blades. A favor for a favor, then.
Yes.
When we return from whatever you have us go to, you tell me what the hell these are.
Then I shall pay it in forward advancement. Those blades of yours, although they are from the empire of magic that has now been doomed by their foolish Karthus. They are blades that were once belonged to the creator race. The Circru, if you call them. Designed to, well, I suppose one could call them anti-magic blades.
Love to unlock that property.
What about mine? And I hold out Doc.
I haven't seen that in a while, and before it used to be in the hands of a Titan. It was much bigger when I last saw it.
Ha!
Mind you,
Oh.
should you fully master it, and by doing so, you would have to bathe it in the blood of, well, runaway giants of particular species and bloodlines. You may be able to unlock its full power.
If it's one thing I'm good at, it's getting it covered in blood.
Good. You might find some of your targets in the north, near the tundras.
The one question I have, the hive stingers, they work on a similar insectoid pattern where they have a hive or brood mother and then just follow orders from that.
Yes.
What exactly is the connection to the higher ups and the brood mother? Is there a link, so to speak?
I don't know the hive mind workings of insects, but I have not seen either of the queens of either of those tribes in a very long time. Thus, I suspect they have been long replaced.
The one other question. Was this, that she kind of holds out her bow / harp, forged by someone from the end, or something entirely different?
This is normal. Actually, no, she doesn't know anything about metalcraft.
I didn't know if it was magic or not, so.
Well, I said metal. She's not exactly a metal user.
Oh, thank God!
She looks at it.
It's not a disadvantage.
Oh, it was a disadvantage. She doesn't know anything about advanced metal work like that.
Ah! Damn it. Pain.
She looks at it. Unfortunately, I don't know the technology or your civilizations beyond this world. Although I suppose that one was some form of dwarven craft, maybe? The mountain men, or at least the sons of stone, are ingenious when they use metal.
Are there dwarven craftsmen of higher standard in Rakshana?
I do not go to these outsiders' cities. She says it very bluntly.
Just didn't know if, considering your prestige, if you weren't able to at least understand people within the lands, even in the cities.
I understand most of the inhabitants native to this land, this world. I don't know the hearts or ideologies of outsiders that are not quite integrated to the land. Now, as for my request, as you see her present a very old, wrinkly, sharp set of claws from her hand. Before the duel with the Venom Hand leaders, I want you all to convince either my son or daughter to take my life. And with that, I'm going to end the session here.
Fucking what?
Dang it, I didn't even get to ask my favor.
Fucking what?
Don't worry, you can ask next session. Just keep it in mind.
Write
You
it
know,
down
that
right
kind
now.
Does
That
it have
kind
to
of
be
makes.
her kids? Because I'll do
I'm
it.
assuming, yeah, because that was her foreshadowing of
Yeah,
like.
she said son or daughter.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, she literally alluded to, would you be able to kill someone's corpse in order to
Yeah.
save the world?
Yeah.
Yep.
Which-
So,
And her son said, like, she doesn't have much time.
I'm sure it's a power transfer thing.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to accept it. Anyway,
I don't think we've even met her daughter.
I think
Yeah.
we have. It's just very infrequent.
she's the one who's mostly not seen, but she is this one here. Let me get her sheet out.
If I see the picture, I'll remember if I've seen it before.
Yeah, hold on. I'm looking at the wrong set of people, the wrong tribe.
I can't believe we gotta. Before we leave, we have to convince. You know, finally having a plus 15 to pursue. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, we've seen her before.
Yes.
You know, This is where it's great to have a plus 15 to persuasion, so he can like, hey, fucking, you know.
Hey, fucking kill your mom.
Obviously, it's not gonna go 1-to-1, but.
Yeah. So, with that, thank you everyone for this evening. I am your DM for the night, Miser Mark. You can find myself on Miser Mark 2010 on Twitch and YouTube as I stream these as frequently as possible. And for tomorrow's D&D session, I leave it to Jeeves and Negus.
Alright, well, I am Jeebus Adigas, and next time you guys see the Drakes, it will be 2 weeks later when they have been dealing with a civil war they kind of started.
We didn't start.
Yeah, I kind of did.
Don't blame us for anything.
I told you the fucking council was fragile, and you started fucking shattering glass with fucking 50 cal rounds.
I see no problem with what we did.
Sounds like a
What
campaign
have
that needs to
you
get
guys done?
Well, you guys should tune in next week to see what they have to deal with. I will see you all tomorrow. Same time. Channel is the Jeebus and Dingus on Twitter, and I will be posting on Twitter whenever we go live, so I hope to see you guys there. I will throw it over to my counter DM on Tuesday, Mariner.
Hello, I am Transpace Mariner on Twitch, DM Mariner on Twitter, and yeah, on Tuesday, after Jeebus's fun civil war that apparently we started, now the other party gets to join in a different civil war that they're gonna just get thrown into. So yeah, that'll be fun.
What? Spoilers?
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. It's gonna
You
happen.
think?
Some Schlankton shit happening.
Oh,
I've been
God.
rolling on the side. Don't worry about it. Anyway,
We're still alive.
only fight sheep from now on.
No,
Not the sheep.
I don't have that many fireballs.
I'm not even. Anyway, yeah, you can catch me on Tuesday where what is the chamber and all that jazz. Sadly, I haven't been streaming in a good bit, but hopefully I should get back into that soon. And I'll throw it over to Moogle then.
Hello, I'm Goth Moogle. I don't do social media, but as usual, you can find my commission information. And of course, not tomorrow, but the following Monday, we'll be back with Sea of Sorrows, where we get to see where this group keeps headed with more information they got. And I believe we'll throw it over to Az.
Hello, hello. I play in this Sunday game as Ari, and then in the Tuesday game, I play as Mala. And my Twitter handle is down below, mostly just post things related to D&D as well as supporting artists. So that's me.
Sal?
I'm just a frog. So, I'm
Just
just
a frog.
That is our
I mean,
frickin' frog.
I'm a
I'm
faithful
just a
frog.
bill.
We needed
Oh, yeah.
somebody to kickstart that combat, and you were the man to do it.
Yeah, that's true. I did do that.
Everybody else is fucking terrified.
I mean, you got
I
his
mean,
attention.
if the barbarian isn't going to survive the first encounter,
Exactly.
you know, I mean, we know where we're going with this.
Yeah, pretty
yeah.
much. We
I
need at
mean,
least
if we
three
can't
more
take a hit,
levels.
we're fucked.
Imagine
By
a
the good
barbarian
graces,
not
I
being
did.
able to take a hit. Smile.
I mean, I would say if you guys had your full resources, I think you could still take them.
No, I think
The amount of DPS that we can throw out in one round, maybe, especially
We
if
could
you didn't
have.
have any corpses to feed on. Since we
Exactly.
had literally the largest corpse in the world to fucking feed on. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that would have been an easily fixable problem, but
all right, mine's
Well, I'm gonna stop streaming.
I'm also stopping mine. Take care, everyone. You